Yeah, where are all my people in the madhouse? I'll be a guide, climb aboard and sit your ass down. Don't worry, there's no need to fear when you hear. You know we're right here. We got the crew and we're ready for a game time. You're not ready to step inside a deranged mind. Yeah, this is what you came here for. We got machinima news and fuck yous. It's the goddamn ward.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wardcast. Every Monday we bring you the latest in video game news, talk about survival horror, machinima, and what's going on at the Ward. I'm one of your hosts, Jazz Rich, alongside Shaun Clark.
Well, howdy doody.
Howdy doody. Alec Funnell.
Yeah, I got crabs.
What? You bastard! You son of a bitch! I should have known that was gonna come back.
Alyssa Kim. Hi! And Austin Brown.
You said asshole Brown wrong.
I'm sorry, asshole Brown.
Hello.
Brown, asshole.
Welcome back, Aston.
Yay.
Yeah, welcome back. Hey.
I'm back, baby.
Been a long time, comrade.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
Wowzer.
As you all know, a lot of our favorite things came out in the 90s. A couple examples are, of course, Resident Evil, Tamagotchi, Beanie Babies. If you don't like Beanie Babies, get fucked. Super Mario World, Dino Crisis, Silent Hill, and there's a whole bunch more. But my favorite thing that came out in the 90s, on the day that this podcast was recorded, was my good friend, Alec.
Aww.
Happy birthday, Alec!
Happy birthday, Alec!
By the way, that
Numbers
was
are coming.
Yep, it's mandatory. We gotta sing. Everybody, let's go. Happy birthday to you.
No,
Nobody else? Okay.
Whoa, you. I mean.
Whoa! Don't make commitments you're not ready to fulfill.
I think I have.
I won't.
I think I have a retort to this. So
Shut up.
I was gonna tell him to make a speech, but now.
He's got like this freaking Shaun soundboard over here.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Love it.
How dare you memify me?
I would like to throw in a random thing I came across when I was looking for it.
I thought you were gonna say when you were little. I was like, what?
No.
Was it a cock?
So, I was reading some...
Wow!
What'd you say to me?
This is rated R for dumb.
Yeah, well, that don't make no sense.
I agree.
R silent.
R is silent. So there's a guy in Scotland that apparently tried to have sex with his fence. Yeah,
That
Sounds about right.
He got drunk and people were hearing banging noises and they looked outside and he was just fucking a fence. And then he walked off.
Banging noises.
Oh, wow.
He went in front of like a van or something and then started having sex with the van.
Dude, what the fuck?
How?
Yep.
Did he put his dick in the gas can?
I don't know. No, he just went to like on the hood and he just started humping the hood, but his pants were at his ankle. So
Shattered.
You made it work somehow.
Oh, whoa! Okay, we're calling people out.
yeah, all right. Yeah, I just thought you guys should know about this. Scottish people are fucking
Thank
weird.
Jesus.
They get drunk and have sex with cars.
That seems normal.
We love you,
Oh yeah,
Shaun.
that's great.
Sean,
Hello.
you get to start today. How was your week?
Before we get into that, there's a random
No.
piece of information I got for you.
Uh-oh.
It's
Oh, dear.
dumb and random as fuck, but okay, I've bitched about Street Fighter V many a time, so I mean that's not news. But
For good
I don't remember
reason.
this.
so I finally opened up my second copy of that piece of shit game because
Why?
listen, because I had to buy it because it had at the time all the fucking DLC characters. Not the case anymore, but whatever. So anywho, I'm trying to grind out getting all my fight money so I can get my last trophy. So I finally decided to open up the other copy because it gave me a bunch of characters that I could level up and in turn get money for doing so. So I went to redeem the code. Again, this fucking edition of the game. The only difference is a fucking DLC code. The DLC isn't even on the goddamn disc, which everybody knows I love. But anyways, so I pulled out the little card with the code on it, and the expiration date is interesting. It expires December 31st, $27.99.
What?
What the fuck?
Are you gonna have this game for 700 fucking
Right?
Wait,
What?
Wait,
the
can you
play-
repeat that last part?
What?
What's the date? Can you repeat the date?
December 31st, $27.99.
Oh, okay, so that's actually the year. That's not. What?
What?
20
They will play this game for ages to come.
$799?
The fucking PlayStation Network isn't going to exist in $27.99.
Okay,
What
no,
the
I just wanted
fuck
to
are
make
they
sure.
talking about?
How do you
think-
know?
I think they were kind of hoping you would take that long to get your trophies done.
Okay. Week
Wow.
time.
Wow.
God damn it.
This week I killed Alec.
Oh,
Sean.
And shat on his body. Hello.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Fucked his fence, you know.
oh no.
Hi,
How would
what
you
can I do you
Shaun-
for?
Jonathan.
oh, you could do me all right. What?
Oh, boy. My week, is that what we're doing? Hello.
Yes.
Okay, great. I watched some things. I finished the Santa Clarita diet, which I'm super duper in love with. It's so good. I'm really sad that I waited so long to watch it. Well, I don't know. I guess it's good because I got to watch 3 seasons back to back instead of having to wait.
Nice.
What's up?
I said nice.
Oh, nice. Have you seen it?
I have not.
You need to. It's great.
How do you know it's nice?
Wow, calling people out. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. It's pretty much about me and my zombie wife and our murder adventures, and it's great.
Hot.
I love it. But yeah, the fucking last season ended on a super cliffhanger, and I hate life now. So I don't know when that's coming out, but it needs to hurry up and happen because I need it in my life. But yeah, so good. Watch it.
I need it in my
Wait, I
life.
thought it was canceled.
What?
No.
I heard it was canceled.
That was before season 3, I think.
I will fucking kill you.
Yeah, 'cause
I
it's
If-
totally his fault.
If
Oh,
it
no.
ended on that, no, no, I
We're gonna
refuse.
have a knife fight, Sean.
We
That's what
might.
it is.
Fucking
Okay,
crab
then.
battle. Let's go.
Browser.
Oh,
I watched Batman.
You mean crap, man.
Crap. Wow. Gotham by Gaslight, which was interesting. There's full blown murder, bloody murder, and like dead faces and blood, and it's weird. It seems like DC's doing that a lot more frequently now. It's like they're taking their edginess to the next level. Whoa! But it's just interesting to see that in like that medium where you're typically not kind of seeing that violence and blood. And what are you laughing at?
so how about murder? All right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's how the meeting went. What if we put in more murder?
More
More dead bodies.
More.
crabs?
No.
Look, this is good, but it needs more murder.
More blood, more murder, more ass.
More feces.
More.
Beautiful.
But yeah, it's interesting. But basically, it's like Victorian Batman against like Jack the Ripper, which sounds kind of retarded, but
That sounds fucking cool.
it was actually.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, it depends. Okay, that road could go one of two ways. It could be very, very dumb or super awesome, and it landed somewhere in the middle. So I don't know.
Oh,
It's good. I mean, it's worth watching. I mean, it's nothing that's gonna blow your socks off or anything crazy, but it's a good watch. But
Rated R for retarded.
but I don't know if any of you guys follow the animated DC Universe shows, but they're all pretty good. So I mean, if you're into those, you're going to enjoy that one as well. They make quality animated movies, not live action. So there's that.
perfect.
And then I partook in the gams. I played the gams. I played some Minecraft with Jazz and Alec. That was not fun at all. No.
Oh,
Well, kind of. Jazz kept boxing me into areas with blocks. Oh, I'm going to go look into my fucking box and pull out some iron. And I turn around and there's no door. God damn it.
I'd install my game now.
No, it's fine.
Wasn't all bad. Me and you got a trophy.
Yeah, and you creepily were eating carrots behind my back when I was trying to get you to do something constructive.
What did you guys do to get a trophy that
Nothing.
I wasn't?
Nothing.
No, that's a good question. I don't remember. What the hell was it for?
Oh God, Jesus!
Eating carrots?
No,
No.
it was gay stuff. Don't even.
Whoa! What? Wow.
Yeah,
It's Mancraft.
Wait.
In the butt.
Did I read that title wrong?
that wasn't a carrot.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's how I sounded afterwards. So
Anyway.
I played Street Fighter V. Unfortunately, like I said before, I'm just still trying to grind out that final fucking trophy. That game's a piece of shit. You have to. I've bitched about this before, but you have to get 100,000 currency in a game that gives you 60 currency for winning an online match.
Ooh.
60.
That's brutal.
You need 100,000. That's fucking nuts. And then there's like
got time for that?
Like even going through story mode and like going through the incredibly difficult survival mode, they're giving you like 1,000, a maximum of like maybe 4,000. You need 100,000. That's fucking garbage. Without buying additional characters, I don't even think it's possible. It's a free-to-play game that you have to pay full price for. Fuck you, Capcom. Yeah. How dare you?
Yeah, what the fuck,
The
dude?
betrayal. I don't like it.
You did that for Street Fighter of all fucking things. Dude.
I know, right?
Wackadoos.
Sons of bitches.
Glad Tekken doesn't do that.
Yeah, well, yet. Give them time.
No.
Yeah, I played a game called 99 Vidas, which is it's like a what was that reaction? So enthusiastic. It's do you know what it is?
Never heard of it.
Okay, that's why that it's just like it's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, like 16-bit kind of style graphics, like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis kind of era
Sony.
game.
Yeah.
With Sony.
Vita.
But it's like super difficult, kind of like Streets of Rage kind of a game, like that. So if you like those kind of games, it's pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of Scott Pilgrim, which the game, not the idea, but just the way that they modeled that kind of 2D side-scrolling adventure game where you kind of had like a world map and you could like level up your character and get new abilities and stuff. So like they took that old school 2D beat 'em up style and kind of put a little bit more depth into it, which is always a fun concept if you like old school games. What else? Oh, I played Saints Row 4 with Jazz. That piece
Hell
of
yeah.
shit. No, I fucking love that game.
Saints
It's
Row or me?
both. Wait. Yeah, that game is amazing still. The graphics are really, really terrible, but everything else is amazing. We've just been running around blasting heavy metal and country music dubstep remixes with our dubstep guns, dancing around.
Country music. It was
Beautiful.
fucking like German.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oktoberfest.
It's all the same. Whatever. It's great though. Just doing a little jig. The people that you're shooting, or not the people that you were shooting at, but the people like around in the environment start dancing and shit, and then you go and you murder them. It's a good time.
The
Saints
cars
Row
start
is amazing.
I like that.
It really is.
I know they're working on another title they announced like I think 2 years ago, but they haven't said anything about it, and they need to hurry the fuck up because I need it in my life. And last thing I played was Let It Die, which is it's good, but it's kind of a mess. So I played it a long time ago, and I didn't really get into it because it's free. It's free to play garbage, basically. But it's Grasshopper. They make games like Killer is Dead, No More Heroes, Lollipop Chainsaw. Like they have a pedigree. Like they make good content, and I wanted to like this game, so I gave it another chance. And if you give it a chance and you spend a couple hours and you learn kind of what the game is trying to do, it's actually pretty fun. It's kind of Dark Souls-ish. It's like super difficult, and you got to like really like plan out how you're going to approach enemies and shit, because they can fuck you up really quick. And like if you die, you lose like all the shit that character had, and that character becomes a zombie, and then like you can find yourself and kill yourself, and like you get bonuses for doing that and stuff. It's interesting. The goal is to get to like the top of this tower, but the problem is it is a free to play game, and it's just loaded with microtransactions. Like at every turn they want you to spend money. It's like, oh, you died, but you can spend money to come back, or spend money to get these better weapons or whatever. So it's like it's really in your face, and that kind of ruins the experience in a large way. But if they had removed that, it would be a great game. So it's a love-hate kind of thing, I guess. Because what's there has a lot of potential. Yeah, and you can't really complain too much because, again, it's free, Like, what are you going to do? You didn't spend money on it. And, like, we go back to Street Fighter. They could have done the same thing with that. Like, I would have not liked it just as much because it works the same way. I don't like free-to-play shit. I don't like DLC. But if it was free, if they just gave that to me, and that's just my choice to play it for free and not spend money, that's one thing. But when you charge full price for a game and then you still build it around microtransactions shit, fuck off. Ugh. I will never get over it. Never.
Hey, I don't blame you. That shit's stupid.
I used to like Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 6 is going to come out. Sean's just going to jump on.
I'm probably going to pass, honestly. The only reason that I've continued to torment myself is just because trophies, and I need it. I've spent so much time in that game that if I don't get that trophy, it just feels like I threw all that time in the garbage. So I have to follow through and finish it.
I mean, you did throw it in the garbage, but...
You're right. And then I took it out, and then I played it more, and then I threw it back in the garbage, and repeat the cycle. It's great.
You're playing yourself, Sean.
We hate the things I love.
Yeah, they better not do that to Resident Evil. I will burn down the gaming industry, I swear to God.
Ran out of bullets, pay £5 to get a few more bullets.
Oh, God, don't get me started. Alyssa!
Yes!
How was your week?
Ow, Sean.
It was a week.
What?
It was just a week. I took a break from playing anything because I like you said before, I think I burned myself a little bit out on it. And I can't get into judgment as much.
Uh-oh.
But, yeah, so I'm just kind of taking a break from games right now.
From all games?
Damn.
Wow. Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
No, you, cut it out for a second. I was like,
oh.
yeah, I'm just kind of chilling out, taking a break.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Hashtag fuck video games.
Wow.
Exactly.
Now circling back, Alec, what the fuck did you say to me when I said Alyssa?
Oh, I just thought it was Jazz's time to host a podcast, but no, you just go ahead and say
hey,
Alyssa.
you guys always do this to me too. Like I started off and you guys keep pushing it forward.
I'm the evil bastard, alright?
I will stab
have to
you.
point out evil things.
I was staying quiet,
Evil.
expecting Sean to fucking choose the next person.
There you go.
That's how we usually do it.
Yeah.
Now Diz has to choose the next one.
Sean already chose, what's his name?
No, he was just yelling at him.
I was just calling him out. Yeah. Fucker.
Alec,
You
go
want to take
ahead.
this outside?
Let's go.
Alec, go ahead.
Wait.
Yeah.
My money's on Diz.
What? Wow.
I mean,
all right.
This isn't even in the fight. Alec, how's your week?
Jesus.
Whose ass am I talking about? I'll never tell.
Austin, do what with his ass?
How was your week, Alec? Please.
Okay, I played The Forest with Alex. Got a few more trophies done on that. So, yay. I played Minecraft for some reason.
Wow.
God, okay then.
It's like the forest with squares.
Yeah.
It's like The Forest, only not garbage.
Wow.
Wait, I retract that. It's slightly less garbage. There we go.
I was about to say.
Just because you're bad at it.
Whoa! Somebody's spicy
Evil
as
Shit's
fuck
not
today.
real.
Look, I'm evil on podcasts, all right?
Jesus.
Boys.
My life is chaotic evil.
Yeah. Speaking of evil, I played Resident Evil 4.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I heard that's a
what's
good
that?
game.
You still
Never
haven't
played
it?
it.
I heard it was garbage.
Wha-
What the hell is Resident Evil 4?
No idea. I think that's a made-up game.
Yeah, I think
I've only
Everybody
heard of
knows
Resident Evil 6, and that one's super
Yeah,
good.
everybody knows that Resident Evil started at 5. We've been over this.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so today's my birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Get fucked.
Wow!
Jesus.
Asshole.
So for my birthday, Lee got me Resident Evil Revelations on PS4.
Yay!
I also got Sniper Elite 3 for some reason.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
kind of
not
random
know.
as fuck.
Oh,
Oh.
good.
I also got
I love that game.
It's my favorite.
It's not installed to the system. I don't know why. I can't think why it's not installed.
Hmm.
Also got a pack of tissues.
What the hell is with him?
Yeah, so
God damn
I'm
it!
glad you
Lee.
mentioned that. So the thing is with Lee, whoever's birthday it is or whoever he's sending things to, he will put in a pack of tissues.
Is there a reason?
Um,
Don't
know.
tell me. Don't. We're good. I regretted the
Well-
question immediately.
What?
okay, quick story. I remember a few Christmases ago, so Lee gave everyone a box of cereal as a Christmas present.
Wow.
He seems like a stand-up guy.
Yeah, Lee sounds like somebody I want to be friends with.
I love that I'm like, no, please don't tell me, and you're like, oh, pull up a seat, let me tell you about this.
pull up a chair and shut up. Listen to the story.
Yeah. Alex got me a Metal Gear Rex all art picture, so that's
Ooh.
nice
Oh,
and
neat.
big. We just had to decide where to put it.
A
'cause,
picture
like,
or like a poster? I think a
yeah,
big
it's
picture is a poster. I could be wrong.
you mostly are anyway, but
You know, I
Evil.
quit.
Right.
you just walk into things. You just make
He's
it too
taking
easy.
advantage of his birthday. Thinks he can get away with anything. Fucker.
Well, he can. 'Cause
You're right.
Bitch, I've been getting away for it last 20 odd podcasts.
Wow.
It's true.
We are now hiring a third host. Hey, Austin.
British
How
guy.
you doing?
Well,
I'm
Lee's
gonna
available.
go far away.
Wow.
Lee joined the Discord channel. He could just
There you go.
we'll have tissues all year round.
I also watched a bit more Smallville now on season 8, and what the fuck happened to Jimmy?
What the heck? No, just what the fuck happened? Period.
No, Jimmy. I was fine with everything else being fucking up, but suddenly making Jimmy into James Bond for an episode, and he's just like, that's normal. The next, he's like, what the fuck?
Jimmy.
Okay, this
Like-
might sound really racist, but hear me out.
Uh-oh.
At
We
least,
I don't know.
at least he's white.
I'd get demonetized.
Wow.
See, like
Now, don't
there's
take
no
that out of
problem.
context, okay?
Hashtag hate speech.
I kind of agree with you, Shaun. Like, there's no problem with the fact that they made him black. It's just the fact that they gave him like this, like backstory of how he went through all this like racist shit when he was younger, and like that's
Yeah.
not Jimmy Olsen. That's not the character.
Exactly.
So it's
That's
white
the
or not,
problem,
it
like,
doesn't
it's
matter.
not-
Just, like, fuck.
It's not like that they made him, oh, this specific race or whatever. It's that they completely changed the character for no reason other than to just like, hey, we're just gonna make him black.
We want to add
But-
more fucking edge.
Yeah, we
Diversity.
need diversity. Let's
We
throw a
can have
black
a
person in
reason
there.
to watch
That
it.
is racist.
So also back to like Smallville. Why is Jimmy Olsen in Smallville? It's a show that's supposed to be in Smallville. Like,
Yeah.
isn't it supposed to be like the story of Clark when he grew up?
Yeah, first off, it ran 10 seasons. They had to do something. and
God damn it! I've got another 2 seasons to go. Fucking hell.
and they were fighting off rabid fans because like everybody wanted to see the like Superman get his suit and actually become Superman, even though from the get-go, you know, they said this is Smallville. He's never going to be Superman. That's not what the show is. Everybody still ultimately wanted that. And so like that was probably a compromise. It's like, okay, well, fuck, we'll take him to the city and he'll kind of be Superman, but not. It's weird.
Not quite.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what sucks is that I haven't even gotten past the first disc of season 1 because right off the bat, when they hung him up and drew the S for Smallville on his chest, and I was like, that symbol means hope. You hung up hope.
I think that was the irony of it.
It was frustrating. It was like, why is that?
Yeah, the S is for Sean, okay?
It's for
That's
Sean.
my language.
It's Sean, man.
Seananese.
Alright,
I have to admit, it's just getting hard to watch. I'm just like, why am I finished?
Are you into the whole Lex thing?
It's like now Lex is gone and there's like two new, and I'm just like,
Yep, that is dumb as shit.
Fucking. But otherwise, I watched The Marine.
Why?
What?
It's John.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me more.
Look, I watched it with Alex. Alex has
Can't
never
see
seen
me.
it, so
My name is Sean.
There's a good reason he shouldn't have seen it.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how to word that.
It is.
yeah. Yeah, I should have just, saved my scissors for someone else's skin.
Wait, what?
My surface is so tough, I don't think the blade would dig in.
Oh, here it is.
Save your strength. Save your wasted time. There's no way that I want you to be left behind. So go on. Save your scissors. Save your scissors.
What the fuck song is that?
It's probably called Save Your Scissors.
Okay.
It's the greatest song
Yeah.
ever.
Campbell
It's by City and Color.
by the Scissor Sisters.
Yeah.
Oh la la.
Wait, is that what they're called?
Oh.
Twisted Sisters.
No, City and Color. But, it's definitely something that Sean could have used for his fucking unboxing.
What? Oh, well, I don't even know what that song is. How was I going to use it?
God, he still doesn't get the hint. Alex is going to laugh. Right, anyway, Austin, how was your week?
I got it!
It sucked. The end.
I understand now.
What have you been up to, Austin?
Well, I've been dealing with a lot of work stuff, a lot of personal stuff, a lot of watching dumb things. Like the other day, I saw a wonderful movie
Oh, boy.
called. Get this, the title. It's called Zombie with a Shotgun.
Yeah, boy.
Oh god, it was so dumb.
Shotgun.
But was
Yeah,
it
like-
dumb bad or was it dumb amazing?
Oh, like dumb bad.
Oh,
like,
no.
It was like definitely the type of movie where it was like it felt like a freaking college student made it and like
ugh.
failed at it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because
Did they-
it was definitely like one of those movies where it's just like, the title seems awesome, where it's just like, yeah, it's gonna be full of action and stuff. No, they spend like, a good 50 minutes of the movie just trying to establish a whole bunch of backstory that nobody cares about.
Ouch.
Austin,
Yeah,
I've got to
it's a
ask,
bummer.
did they use Chris Redfield from RE1 to say, I got a shotgun?
Oh, I
no.
wish.
That would have been amazing.
I
Redemption.
wish. Oh, they use nothing of the sort.
Damn.
But my friend and I definitely had fun making fun of it, so
Mhm.
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
That's a good plus.
yeah.
Shitty movies bring friends closer.
It unites humanity.
do. Oh, I love watching shitty movies. It's the fucking best.
It is great.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and then also I had the wonderful thing happen of my computer decided not to turn on yesterday.
Oh, no,
I'm
no.
still trying to figure what's going on with that.
Blue screen of death.
It's not quite that. It's just that it's not getting power whatsoever. So
That
Oh,
could
blue
be
screen of
I-
death.
that could be good
Yeah.
though, because it could just be the power supply.
well, I already tried replacing the power supply,
Oh,
and that's
shit.
not it. So I think it's like just the power switch itself. So I think I need to like fix that somehow.
See, that's the
So,
thing I can't
yay.
fix because I can't solder, so I'm like,
Well, yeah, like if I have to do that kind of shit, I'll just buy a whole new case. But
yeah,
if I
that
just have to
too.
replace the wire or something, then that's
True.
easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck.
I've been there.
I'll stab it
Mhm.
for you.
Oh, please do.
Maybe with a pair of scissors.
Wow.
Teasers.
Jesus.
Let it go.
Skizzers.
Let it go.
No! I was just raging about that earlier.
That's why I brought it up.
Fucker,
You're welcome.
Shut the
weren't
fuck
even
up,
here.
Elsa.
Wow.
Like I was raging about it to Diz earlier. I was like,
Sean
fucking
Elsa
Sean.
is the only Elsa.
Elsa
Shut up.
is just Leon spelled backwards.
Are you?
Yes.
What?
It's official. Sean's getting dumber each broadcast.
Wow.
Jesus, 68 episodes of stupid.
God
I
damn.
mean, I think we have enough scientific evidence to prove this.
Wow. I have a refined humor, you shits, okay?
Don't you ever find stupid? Oh.
It cut out, so I heard is I have refined shit.
I mean, that's accurate.
Did you take a picture of it and then put it on
Instagram?
ratemypoo.com?
Wow. I believe that exists.
It did. It did.
Oh my
It
god.
did. Oh,
Did.
You
Someone
know,
was-
really has refined shits. This one guy I know named Asshole Brown. Oh, they're the most refined.
so you're fine.
They were not pictures of Winnie the Pooh, by the way.
Oh,
Winnie the Brown.
oh,
Pooh
Oh
Brown.
god.
all right.
Anyway, I think that was my week.
Nice.
Wow, you haven't been on the
I-
podcast in like 8 years, and that's all.
I know, right? But I guess
Last
that's
time you like took a trip to space or something. I mean,
yeah, no, the last business trip I took was like freaking August,
Oh.
so I haven't done any traveling since then. As far as like out of the country or anything. But what I did do for Christmas is I went to visit my half brother who lives about 2 hours south of me, and like we went to like do some like Christmas wine tasting, so that was pretty sweet.
oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
That's how you do Christmas.
Fuck yeah! Oh, it was an
Alcohol.
awesome Christmas, dude.
Nice.
And
Did
then
you
New
talk
Year's
to
was
the
just-
other
We're a bunch of
half-brother?
shitheads. Nobody asked him how his Christmas was. God. Host.
Motherfucker,
What a shitty host.
Oh,
kill
I
you
learned
all.
from the best.
Wow!
Zing!
Oh.
I'm just gonna
God, what else you
stop.
got?
I give up.
What else you got?
Uh,
Did you do anything cool for New Year's?
New Year's we just had a little shindig at the house. Nothing too crazy. Played a whole bunch of Jackbox.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
asked Sean.
Wow.
And yeah, but I think that's about it for me.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I've kept it relatively simple, but also really complicated for reasons I won't get into.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I'm handling it.
In the
we
basement.
never do.
It's all Sean's fault. I mean,
Oh,
Fake
Bunch
well,
of
would you look at the
bullshit.
time?
Wow.
podcast
Speaking of
is
time,
over.
there's a good chance we might run long because we have 5 people today on the show.
yay!
Yay!
Oh, we're gonna run long, all right.
Yay.
You know what?
No, but it's the only way to run.
I don't like running.
Running.
Hi, Mom.
Oh no.
What? Hi, Austin's mom.
Get fucked.
Wow.
Oh.
Evil.
This podcast is not for children or mothers.
Oh yeah, we forgot
No.
to say that.
It is for motherfuckers.
But we did
though.
say Batman.
It's true.
It's for Batman. So, yeah.
Batman.
Podcast.
Batman, how was your week? Did you say this podcast is forfeit?
No, I said for Batman.
Podcast.
Batman.
Jesus.
Anywho.
Yeah. So that's me. That's all my updates and stuff.
I'm gonna pull a card out of Sean's trick card.
Excuse me?
Call him there.
Don't pull a card out of me.
He needs that to live.
Jazz.
Actually, pull it out. Pull it out.
Jazz.
Please.
How the heck was your week?
It was good.
Twas it?
No,
Twas it the
I
week
don't know.
before or after Christmas?
It was neutral.
It was neutral.
It was neutral. It wasn't
Okay.
good, but it wasn't, bad.
I
Didn't do
guess
much.
that's a win.
It is a win.
Yay.
So we played Saints Row. It's
Yeah.
already been said.
Hell yeah.
We made Elena and Brandon.
Oh yeah, I forgot the most important part. Fuck.
Fuck. Little Elena and little Brandon.
Big old dumb stupid head
Big
Brandon.
old dumbass. And yeah, it's as I remember. It's good to not have to take out the PS3 to play it now.
Yeah. Plus
really
you
wish
can
they
get
would
double platinum on it. Whoa.
Because that's what I play games for.
Wow.
It sucks that they I kind of hope that they eventually bring Saints Row 3 because I really like that one too.
Yeah.
So I also, as you mentioned, played Minecraft with these fucks.
Wow.
These fucks, that fucks. And we had a lot of fun. We laughed, cried. We mostly cried.
Mostly cried.
And
90% crying.
Yeah, and now that they brought in cross-platform play too, it gave me the opportunity to play with my friend who he plays on PC but through an Xbox. I don't understand. But we were able to play together, and he literally lives in the same apartment building as me. So he's too stupid to get upstairs, and I'm too lazy to go downstairs.
Wow.
So, yeah,
and now,
we were able to
Cody,
play
if you're
together.
listening, you can play with us finally, you shit.
Yeah. Wow.
Austin, do you play the Minecraft?
The craft of mine.
Oh, you son of a
The
bitch.
Minecraft.
Good.
I've known you for like a decade, and I've known you for like a decade, and we haven't played a single game. We need to fix this.
I know, what the fuck?
Seriously, what the fuck?
What a bunch of balls.
A decade.
Used to play Street Fighter 5.
No!
Jess, we've almost
What?
known each other for a decade. Almost.
Yeah. You're like what, 18 now?
Yeah.
13 and a half.
Like 2020 hype.
Oh, and you forgot to mention how said cross compatibility or whatever fucking almost destroyed that game.
It did. It
Like
almost
it
erased
runs at
everything.
like 10 frames a second now.
Oh no.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's great.
And when you're doing cross-platform, it DCs a lot,
Yeah.
and the servers aren't available yet. Or like people are like, "Oh, when is that gonna come?" And it just says, "Not available yet. Check back later." Tra-la-la.
Coming soon.
Check back in $27.99.
I love it.
Exactly. And as like I said last week, I had gotten Control for Christmas, and I wasn't able to play it, so I had to bring it back.
That makes me so sad.
Yeah, it sucks, but I could still.
Well, now you can watch my Let's Play. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a downer.
Wow.
So what I got instead was I couldn't find a game I wanted, and they wouldn't give me like money back, so I got a PSN card and finally decided which game I wanted, which was called Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey. I had never heard of it. You guys have probably never heard of it.
I've heard of it,
I have heard.
and to be honest, I just had no interest. It just didn't seem like a game for me.
Is it
It's
multiplayer?
It's not
Okay.
not that I know of. So it is, if anybody, what it is, it's an open world survival. You play as the first humankind to walk the earth about 100 million years ago, and you're like fucking stupid as hell, so you have no idea how to do anything. So you have to explore, you have to be careful of the dangers because there's animals and shit. And basically you develop motor skills, you learn how to use tools, which at first you have to figure out what a tool is. So
What's the gameplay mechanic in figuring out what a tool is?
So like you pick up stuff. So you pick up a rock and you inspect the items you pick up. So you inspect the rock and then you realize like, okay, this doesn't smell like food, so I could probably use this for something. Then you pick
Just
up
like
a
real
stick.
life.
Yeah, you pick up a stick, and if you put like piles of sticks together, eventually like you can make this little barrier of sticks, and then you're like, hey. And then eventually, and you have to keep evolving to the next generation. So I think when you get to the second generation, you can switch hands, which then gives you the ability to hold two things. So then you can learn that, I'm holding a stick and I'm holding a rock, and just start hitting the fucking stick with the rock, and it sharpens the stick. So you're like, oh, now I have a sharp stick, which took me 35 years to find out how to do.
Jesus.
Great.
Wow.
Great.
Does
3
it-
generations.
Does it show you how to have sex?
With the stick.
The sharp one.
And the rock.
And the rock. Me as
That's
a fucking
kinky.
caveman or whatever, just put 2 rocks in a stick and be like, ham.
Me smart.
So yes, you do have to have sex, but it's not on screen.
Oh,
It's-
what fun is
that's
that?
the point.
Lame.
Like you build yourself a
0 out
little
of 10.
bed. You build yourself a little bed, and you have to like groom other people in your clan in order to like make a couple, and then you just like mate, and suddenly there's a baby. It's like bam, pregnancy, skip to birth, yeah, bam, birth.
It's like the
baby.
fucking Sims.
Yeah, but
There
it's
you go.
like funky.
There, we figured out why I had no interest in it. It's like The Sims.
Well, the funniest shit
Caveman
though is that
Sims.
like they tell you that you it's good to have a kid around because they're like if you do specific tasks when there's a kid around, then it helps the next generation learn it so they can carry it on. That's
That's
their-
kind of neat.
yeah.
That's
So
really
you can
cool.
you can piggyback all these kids like strapped to you and you walk around and stuff.
Just walking around. You're Death Stranding it with a bunch of babies attached to your back, trying not to fall over.
The
Oh, wow.
funniest thing is that like I'll leave one kid at home just in case I die and there's like the next generation. And one
It sounds
adult.
too real.
So I like, of course, you know how I like to have stupid shit happen to me in games. Not really like to, but it just does. I was getting advanced. I was like 60 years in. I went to explore the jungle because it was like find a new settlement, and I had like the kid on me. I had a friend with me. I didn't notice that the friend was. I had taken both males out of the fucking clan. So
Ooh.
I got both of them killed and the kid killed by like a tiger. And now there's just females in my clan, so we're fucked. Jurassic Park is wrong. Life will not find a way.
I mean, if it's just females, nobody's getting fucked. Zing!
Whoa, I still have a stick.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and then I restarted my.
I
whole
learned
game.
the tool.
I restarted my whole game, and then I did really well. I got back to 60 years, and then I fell in a random hole in the game and just fell endlessly and was not able to go back to the game. So I had to start over again. That was great.
Whoopsie.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
it's great, but it's a really neat game. Like you want to Google like, oh, how do I make this? And then I'm like, no, they didn't have Google back then. I can do this. I can figure this out. So I just start hitting shit all over the place. Great, and throwing rocks at people.
Oh my god.
Sick.
But yeah, and that's all I played. Other than that, I haven't been watching anything. I was gonna watch Ghostbusters, so Sean would be proud of me.
Yay, but you
But instead
decided
I
not
watched
to.
Family Guy.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, now he's disappointed again.
Yeah.
that's fine. We live to disappoint.
No.
I picked up my Tomb Raider comics and I started rereading them. I'm up to the 3rd one. That's the only one I have. Well, not the only one, but I have up to the 3rd one.
I read up to the 3rd one because it's the only one I have. It was the first and the last.
I read up to. I'm about to read the 3rd one. I have up to the 3rd one. So when I get caught up, I'm gonna go buy the rest and be a real Tomb Raider fan again.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's really interesting. She goes to fucking Chernobyl
Why?
and then kills people. Because
Jesus.
I think it's like the sister of her friend in the first game that the like Alex, the guy with glasses, the hipster. She goes to see his sister or something.
And also so she could get radiation powers.
Yeah, super
She's
Laura.
gonna turn into the Hulk.
Yeah.
Fucking Chernobyl Croft.
Laura smash! Laura, fuck!
Laura used tool.
Climb wall!
But yeah, that's
Did
all
the breast
I
get bigger?
And green?
Yeah.
Why are they triangles?
I'm okay with this.
Going back to the plot. Going back.
I'll
to the
buy
plot,
this
but
game, I'm ready.
It's a comic book.
Oh, fuck.
You should buy the comic.
No, I'm good.
I'll read it with my pants.
I actually
down.
have some of the
Maybe
comic. No, what?
Jesus. While you're taking a shit,
Oh,
Aston Brown.
The great
Oh,
thing about
boy.
reading a comic book while you're taking a shit is you have extra toilet paper in case you run out.
If it sucks.
You're killing Diz again.
Shit happens.
Never be caught off
Sure
guard.
does.
oh no.
That's all. That's all for my week.
Yay!
Yay. Yay! You know what time it is?
What time is it? Wow, it's always time
5:03.
for that.
Oh boy.
5 o'clock.
No, it's not. It's 3:03.
It's
2 hours
Learn
left
your
of my
time.
birthday.
Wow, it's too
2:03
many.
for me.
It's time for some news. So
That was a disaster.
yeah, it was a disaster.
Ah,
So because I'm super good at finding news, I didn't find much, but I did find some. I was being sarcastic.
what?
I'm not super good at finding news.
Oh, I know.
I focus a lot of my energy on one thing, and then
So
I
there's
was
this
like,
new bacon
sure,
coming out.
Oh my god.
No, I'm gonna fucking talk about
Okay,
sandwiches,
wow.
whether you let me or not.
God damn it!
Super bacon.
So, the Uncharted movie, that's been kind of a question mark for what 20 years now.
Oh, yeah.
How
For
long?
longer than the game series has
Very-
existed.
Yeah, right.
The movie was first announced in 2009. Actually, I entitled this Uncharted movie and its struggle. That is how I see this.
It struggled to
It was
live.
announced- Its struggle to live.
Wow.
It was
They
announced.
just haven't found the movie yet.
They
You know
haven't-
why this
yeah.
happened is because they didn't cast Nathan Fillion as fucking Drake.
I know.
You
Why
know
the
what?
fuck aren't they doing
Dipshits.
Apparently, so okay, the movie, it's gone through since 2009. It has gone through 6 directors because the 6th one just left the project in December. And one of the directors, I don't remember which one because there's so many. Apparently, Nathan Fillion was like, "Hey, I want to play Nathan Drake,"
Mm-hmm.
and people were like, "Yeah, yeah," and he was like, "I don't even know who Nathan Fillion is." So
Oh, God damn
like,
it.
the guy
Fail.
had no idea who Nathan Fillion was, so he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna pass."
What a
You know this
douche.
guy. Instead of just Googling Nathan Fillion, and seeing
Right?
his face, like, oh yeah, like so Nathan Fillion made his own video, an Uncharted thing, like a short, and it was
Yeah, I
probably
did
better
see
than
that.
anything. they'll
And
ever
it was
do.
amazing.
Mhm.
'Cause he's funny. He's funny.
He is
Uh,
Nathan Drake. Like, I swear to God, they modeled him after Nathan Fillion. They had to
More than
have.
likely.
Most like yeah, like there's. Plus, his name is Nathan.
Right? They didn't even try. They didn't even try to hide it.
They don't have to. He doesn't have to remember a new name. Now he's too old though.
Yeah, but they got that de-aging shit. Fuck it. They can make it work.
I know, right?
They got that special cream.
Wow.
got-
For your
They got
ass.
Samuel L. Jackson to friggin' act like an old man in Captain Marvel, so.
Yeah. They can make it
But
happen.
to be honest, the last director, the one who quit, Travis Knight, he directed Bumblebee, and I don't think I'd want to see an
Ugh.
Uncharted movie directed by the same guy who did
Yeah,
Bumblebee.
no, I'm good.
And like Kubo, like all these animation movies, the Paranorman.
Well, that's fine. Those are actually good. Well,
Yeah, those are good, though.
but I mean, I get what
I don't know
you're
if it
saying,
fits
though.
Uncharted, though.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's like, oh, you did good in these kinds of like stylized movies, but does that mean you could make a good, like, I don't know.
No. But although, and right now Sony is kind of hoping that they can get the director. Okay, I'm gonna fuck up his name. Ruben Fleischer. Fleischer.
Ew, the Zombieland guy.
Zombieland Venom. Yeah. They're really hoping
Yes.
that he'll do it. He's done stuff for them before, and he's like at the top of their list. But
Hmm.
I don't think they're gonna get it. I really like. They should just scrap this project at this point.
Steven
it's been-
Spielberg, where you at?
Yo, Michael Bay.
No.
Make-
Well, maybe
Christ.
there should be a lot of explosions in there. It might fit.
Make Michael Bay and James Cameron together,
Yeah.
and it'll
Put
be
Mark
the-
Wahlberg back. That'd be great.
Oh fuck me.
Oh, he's
Oh, you know
actually-
what? Put Mark Wahlberg and Tom Cena. Who the fuck is Tom Cena?
Tom Cena.
John Cena. Put those shits together. You can't
they
see
got-
me. My name is Tom.
Oh, fuck.
You know what's really funny is that the movie was scheduled to be released on December 18, 2020, and apparently that's still the release date. They don't have a director. They don't have any confirmation that Mark Wahlberg will actually be in it because he's right now, quote unquote, on board. I don't actually know if he is.
So this
to
movie's
play-
been in development for like 7 years, and they're still nowhere. Basically.
It's been
Incredible.
it's been around since 2009.
I think
Jesus.
they should start again but with Angelina Jolie as a main character.
As
Wow.
Nathan Drake.
Oh man,
Yes.
Alex, you
I'm
gotta
up
make
for
this
it.
movie, dude.
So what the fuck happened to that? Like, I don't know if they scrapped it or whatever, but last I heard they were doing like a prequel or whatever, doing like a young Drake, and Tom Holland
Yeah.
was gonna be him, and I'm just like,
That's,
what?
They still have Tom Holland confirmed
Ugh.
as Nathan Drake because they're doing a prequel, like the later years or the earlier years of Nathan Drake, and that's why they have Mark Wahlberg possibly to play.
Oh, so it's all
Drake.
part of the same thing.
Well, Tom Holland is confirmed, so they don't have a director, but they have one actor, which is all you need, really.
They don't
one
have a
actor.
they don't have a
He's gonna-
script. They've done nothing, but they have Tom Holland. What?
He's gonna film the entire movie with an iPhone,
Just make him Spider-Man.
GoPro.
Fuck it.
the GoPro.
I
And-
mean, Nathan Drake practically is Spider-Man
kind of.
with how he swings around everywhere.
Yeah.
Spider Drake.
he's Spider-Man, but
Yep,
he can't shoot
Spider
webs.
Drake, Spider.
He shoots guns instead. But they do have a script. It's being changed a lot, though.
You don't say.
Every time a new director comes on, they're like, "No, I don't like this. You know what? Fuck it, I'm going. I'm leaving."
It's like 11 years, and they have the same exact script, and they didn't change anything. They just won't budge on it, and the directors keep leaving because of that.
Exactly. So people were saying like, "Oh, they're gonna get this guy as the 7th director," and then somebody else was like, "No, he's the 7th director to quit on the project."
Wow, dude,
That's
it must be
nuts.
really
I
fucking
know.
bad.
I can't
I mean-
believe they haven't abandoned it at this point. Like, what a financial disaster.
It's not just
So
that, but I don't
weird.
understand why it's so hard.
I know.
Like-
The games are already story-driven games. They have a great story there. What the
It's 'cause
fuck is the
now-
problem?
Now they have too many movies like the Jumanji movies or like the fucking what was it called? That Nicolas Cage National Treasure. Like they have all those movies that if they try to go towards the Nathan Drake thing, it's gonna look too much like those movies. Like
So they already make
waited
movies
too
like
long.
that anyway.
Yeah.
They waited too long, and now it's gonna copy those movies. And well,
Oh no.
how about you go buy the game then instead of doing a fucking prequel?
Yeah.
Just go word per word game.
Yeah, well, you know
I've
what?
never understood that.
In this world, they're not making the Uncharted movie, but fucking Sonic the Hedgehog is coming out next year, so
Oh,
fuck
God.
me, right?
Featuring Baby Sonic. Whoa.
Oh my god.
But
Things,
yeah.
things that make sense don't make sense.
Yeah,
to
they
them.
never happen. Like
Expect the unexpected.
people that make like if they try to take one medium and transition it into another, like everybody involved in that process do not understand the concept of like maintaining the spirit of the original. There's no reason why you can't just take what was there in a game or whatever. I mean, a book is a little bit different because, you know, you have to make up a bunch of shit and you have to flesh out details and create the physical assets and shit like that and cut down on exposition and inner narrative and dialogue. And so I understand that's kind of different. But like when you have something that's a video game that's a visual medium and you're turning it into another visual medium, there's no reason why you can't just take 90% or 100% of what's already there, turn it into a live action format, maybe toss in a couple Easter eggs or new bits here and there to kind of spice it up, but just tell that same story, because odds are you're telling that video game story to a completely different audience. Most of the
Yeah.
people watching it aren't even going to know about the game. So who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And the people that do know about the game are going to appreciate that shit. So it's a win-win situation, but nobody seems to grasp this concept and they refuse to fucking do it. It drives me
Sony
insane.
lived
Take the story and what makes it great and slightly expand upon it without fucking it up. It's not hard.
Apparently,
It's
it's really difficult.
Like,
It's not science, rocket ships.
Wow.
yeah.
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 Dirt.
I do.
But yeah, that's what I had on that. When I first opened it, I thought I was like, oh my god, they're finally gonna
Just kidding.
Wrong.
disappointment.
Yeah, every article lures you into thinking that, and then it's just like, nah, fam.
Psych.
No, we're wrong. Oh, and speaking of nopes,
Oh.
another
Nope.
story I got. Obviously, Everybody's probably heard of this one, but there's another tease out for the Batman game that is
Batman.
going to be a Batman. Batman.
Another? I didn't even know about the first one.
Yeah, so we bring up Batman a lot just as a joke, but like this time there's actually Batman things. WB
Batman
Games Montreal Games, whatever they're called, French fucks,
Wow.
have been teasing. They are have been teasing a new Batman game for years now, and they did it again. The latest that came out was they're sending out, and I don't understand why they're doing this on like Twitter and Instagram or whatever that site is, a series of images that if you put them together, it forms a crest. And there's an eagle, and it says "Capture the Night." And fans are like, "What is this? Where's our trailer? We want a trailer." And they're like, "Well, we're not actually going to tell you guys there's a new game, but here's another fucking picture of Batman-related shit."
Yeah.
And apparently this has been going on for a long time, but they just released a new one, and now fans are speculating that the next game is going to center... Now, I don't know what this is, but it's the Court of Owls, which is the Illuminati-like organization in Gotham. There's fucking Illuminati in Gotham.
Of course, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere, Batman. Punching the triangles.
Alfred, are you Illuminati?
Triangle. You have to tell
No,
me.
sir.
Oh my god.
Well, we have our
Don't press
Alfred.
the triangle button.
Yeah, and then everybody was speculating that, but now there's an eagle crest, so the eagle is kind of throwing a wrench in the theory. So there's actually no way to tell what the fuck WB Games Montreal are up. And yeah, I read some comments on some of these because there's what do you call it? Information. A bunch of different sites.
You read some comments?
I read your comments. I read some comments of people who wrote, and some of them were literally just like blank. Like they just didn't write
Wow.
anything. They just put blank. So
Oh my
people aren't
God.
happy. People aren't happy. Probably the same fans as Uncharted. Just like why? Just do it or don't do it, but stop being an asshole.
I think they're just late to the party because there was a little bit of time there where like it was cool and hip to fucking like just release a tiny bit of information or a phrase or an image, and then the community can like dive into it and figure out what the fuck that means and come up with these theories, and like everybody
Yeah,
had a good
pump
time
out.
and whatever. And then the company got all this free social media marketing and shit, and it worked for a little while, but that's gone, and they don't seem to understand that. People got annoyed with that. It's just like
Well-
Destiny. It's like, oh, we're gonna fucking lock our paid DLC behind a fucking puzzle. Fuck off.
But the thing is, like,
Yum.
it's cool. The fans get to like try to figure out blah blah blah. But the thing is, they're doing it over and over and over.
Yeah, and like
But
one
you,
little
like,
grain
listen.
of information per like 2 years or something. It's like, what?
It's
What
like
are you doing?
You're alone in a fucking basement. There's like everything above you is like on fire, and all you have is 4-piece puzzle, and you put it together once, and then you take it apart, and then a week later you're like, "Ooh, a puzzle," and you were like, "Oh, it's the same one. I guess I could put it together again." And then after a while, you're like, "Motherfucker, I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah.
This is the new Batman game, or maybe not new Batman."
I
game.
want to say if you're in a basement for a
It's
week
there.
and the house is on fire,
Everything above the house or everything above the basement. So like you could be in a fucking cellar. I don't know. This I was gonna say a storm cellar, and then I brought in basements because I know how much you like those.
okay, oh, you're thinking of me.
Oh.
Let's just admit it. They're working on a new Catwoman game.
Oh, get
Yep.
the fuck out of
You
here.
just go around. You hit triangle to meow.
Yeah.
Square.
Shut
to
up and take my money.
I'll fucking buy that game. Let's go.
You push
The
if you
PS2
hold down
one was
circle-
great.
Better than the
Yeah.
movie, which was also great.
Oh man.
Do you think Catwoman like goes in public bathrooms and instead of snorting cocaine, she does catnip?
Yep.
She just cracks a fucking jar on the counter and just like
Well, she snorts it with her ass.
Yeah.
holds circle to snort
It
cocaine.
gets you higher.
Wait, that takes talent. What the fuck? Hold up.
I mean, it is Catwoman. I
It's
mean,
Catwoman. Just
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Halle
You
Berry
did
is
some freaky shit,
untouchable.
yo.
Oh fuck. No, I'm not going. Halle Berry movie. Such garbage.
Rated R.
So, and like I told you, I didn't have many news. I took one and split it into two.
What?
Yeah, because it's about Resident Evil 3.
Oh, good.
Good.
The pharmacist.
We never talk about Resident Evil around here.
Nah, what's
I
that?
saved the best for last. We kind of put him on hold because Nemesis was making us all very angry.
And continues
However-
to do so.
No, actually now I'm happy and I can't wait. But
Wow.
before
Oh, no.
that, the actual game, it was, hang on, my shit just glitched on me.
I'm okay. Let me set
This
this up
happens to you a lot too.
because there's pros and cons to this news. There's some good stuff and there's also some not so good stuff.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
true. Okay, there we go. So yeah,
Care to
because
elaborate on that?
so obviously we all know that the fucking, I don't know if it's the same one that you have, Sean, because I'm guessing you pulled up some news for this too.
No.
No. Where did?
No, I did.
You didn't do the homework.
I did it.
You did it.
You gotta be prepper.
See me after class, bitch.
Damn it.
Preppers. You gotta be preppers. We'll see it.
Preppers.
We'll see if it's the same one. So it's the one where they're trying the differences between the original and the remake. But now they're not. They're saying it's more of a remix than a remake because they're changing a lot. One of which is being the game will not have multiple endings.
Mm-hmm.
He was asked and he was like,
No.
No.
no. Yeah, because his last name is
Do
Fabiano.
not have multiple endings.
Capcom producer Peter Fabiano. He says no.
He says no.
He says
Fabiano.
no.
As long as they make Nikolai live, that's fine.
What?
Yeah, I want Nikolai to live.
Nikolai. What?
Nickel
What?
But
died.
he's a
They don't. I haven't seen anything. Haven't seen anything about Nikolai, but Carlos's role will be expanded as a playable character. And Peter Fabiano
Fabiano.
quote, Carlos will have his own interesting section to play through. So I'm trying to wonder, like, is it the little part that you play as Carlos when you go get the antivirus, or are they fucking giving him like an entire extra brand new adventure?
I mean, I'm
No.
Super
assuming-
special brand new adventure.
Super Carlos Adventure 3000.
I
I mean,
Yes.
I just interpret that as like a whole section of the campaign, like how they added for Sherry and Ada in the Resident Evil 2, where it's just like you play as them for like a short period of time, but it's like a
Oh,
fairly
yeah.
substantial section.
Yeah, like
Yeah, which is-
essentially exactly what they did with Resident Evil 2 Remake, where they took the basic idea, oh, you get to play as Ada and Sherry, but it was like a really small chunk where they took that idea and they expanded it and they kind of remixed it and gave them like their own kind of gameplay dynamic. So they kind of beefed that up and made it longer. I'm assuming they're doing the same thing with Carlos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then you can always imagine that maybe they're gonna do like a whole separate campaign like Resident Evil 6, where you're like, hey, so you start in Raccoon
it's
City as
possible.
Carlos, getting there with the other guys.
I didn't get that vibe from how it was phrased, but maybe.
no.
I hope so.
That's just me hoping. That's not.
Oh yeah,
That's
well,
just-
don't set yourself up for that kind of disappointment.
Listen, before today, before I started doing my research, I was like, Resident Evil 3, it'll come out in April, and meh. But now I'm like, yeah, next week I'm gonna go pre-order that shit because now I actually kind of want to play it.
This news excited you?
Could
Not
you?
this news, not this one specifically. The
Oh.
part with Nemesis did, but
The part where she got pants?
I didn't look. The only pictures I'd seen were like waist up, right? So I didn't know until I looked at a picture of the collectibles that you could not pre-order because they're sold out. And there's a figurine and she's wearing pants, and I was like, oh my god, she got pants! Oh my god, guys! And they're like, hey, if you pre-order this, you get the outfits where she's got a. I'm like, no, I'm not pre-ordering that shit. I don't want the
Wow.
outfit with the skirt.
I'll pay extra money to remove that from the game.
I bet a lot of people.
Wow, I like it.
No, I mean like
Wow.
clothes being.
Gross.
But the other part for the Resident Evil 3 thing, unless you had more on that part, Shenanathan.
Well, I will say, I hope it does not do individual campaigns just because of the fact that would be taking a page from Resident Evil 6. And I do not want any fucking game to take a page from that damn game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, I do not like Resident Evil 6 at all. I will shit all over it.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
But no, you pretty much covered that. Just they. I mean, it was pretty much confirmed already that Carlos was going to be playable, but they officially did confirm that, and then they did mention whatever more content-based scenario with him.
I have a question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Did anyone else not like Carlos at first, like when they first saw?
I still don't.
No, I liked him immediately.
Oh, I thought you meant original Carlos.
Oh, original?
I was like, I've never liked Carlos.
No, I never liked Carlos, but I like the new version of him, yes.
I didn't like it at first, but it's grown on me.
I kind of hope that he has a consistent accent this time.
I'm sure he will.
And that he doesn't burn himself up in a truck smoking pot.
Oh, God damn it.
The problem I have with Carlos in the remake that he much like Miguel out of Tekken.
Smoke weed every day.
Oh.
He looks like if they made a movie of the remake, he could be played by Justin.
Who?
Justin Long. He's like that nerdy.
What?
Always has like super shaggy hair guy.
I know.
Justin.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't see the.
No,
okay.
just because like he's got a fucking fro, but like a white kid fro. It's just like super shaggy and like messy.
Just so long as they don't turn him into a walrus later, I'll be fine with that.
Jesus.
Zombie walrus.
The best
And
kind.
now I know you're gonna judge me. The part of the news on this game that made me want to buy it more is that Nemesis. Obviously, we have to mention Nemesis.
Hashtag not my nemesis.
Not my nemesis has been tweaked up.
Oh.
It's been tweaked to up the horror. I misread that.
Up the
Up the horror.
Nemesis is bringing the whores.
They just connected a fucking straight up like crack container on him. So no, so they tweaked to up the horror and make him on par with modern games, more on par with modern games. And same guy Fabiano, said, quote, "We certainly took some elements that we learned from putting together Resident Evil 2's Tyrant, but Nemesis is his own brand of terror and relentless pursuer who can use weapons. We already knew that, but the thing is, Tyrant, or Mr. X, was tethered to the game. He would appear at scripted places, whereas Nemesis is untethered and can appear any fucking time, any fucking where."
Yes, good.
I'm gonna shit my pants.
Great.
So
I might actually get scared.
Yeah, so we were talking about that, like when they first teased it or whatever, people were talking about it. They were saying like, no, or I don't know who was saying this, but we were saying like, there's no way the Nemesis, they'll be able to do it like as creepy as he was in RE3, where he just runs to you out of nowhere. But now I feel like they're managing to find a way to do that. Like Mr. X was cool, but it's just like, oh, you're walking super slowly towards me, and I'm just gonna back up in this safe room. You can't touch me.
Fuck you.
But then, like, you're expecting Nemesis to be somewhere, and he's not. And he's completely untethered, so you never fucking know where he is. I like that. I like that. It's going to be scary.
Yeah, it's going to be very different because all the shit that you did to get away from Mr. X, for the most part, you're not going to be able to do with Nemesis.
Yeah, no, because you can carry weapons.
And I mean, just the little shit, like, Mr. X walks around, and you avoid him. Fucking Nemesis runs. Like, yeah, Nemesis and has ranged weapons. Like, you're fucked. It's good. It's gonna be really interesting how they do that.
Shove a rocket launcher up your asshole.
Yeah. Wow.
It's also they're able to do that mostly because Resident Evil 3 is obviously in Raccoon City, which is a way wider area. So you're not gonna have like he's walking upstairs and you hear his footsteps. It's literally just gonna be like maybe you'll hear like splash 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 if there's a puddle, but he's just gonna run up out of nowhere. Like, it's such a wide area. It's adding fear back in. It's not gonna sound like a shitty.
Yeah, they talked about using the I can't remember what the term was, but some kind of dynamic sound technology that they use with Resident Evil 2 remake that they're going to be using with this one to a more like a deeper degree, where you're going to like it's going to be a game mechanic where like that's kind of how you identify when Nemesis is around. You need to listen to the environment and listen for whatever footsteps, splashes, moving around, rustling. Like you need to listen for him to see if he's around. Otherwise, he's just going to sneak up and fuck up your day.
She's going to have like Jurassic Park with a glass of water on the cars.
You have to play with headphones. Oh god.
Oh god, that's the only way I do. Like
No,
Mhm.
stop.
That's the funnest way to play Resident Evil 2 already, but like I don't like having the fact that you can hear him everywhere in the RPD. So this is gonna be.
I
I'm
really
excited
like
for
that. That put me on edge like the whole game. I'm just like, "Ugh."
I liked it, but like the
Perfect.
louder it got, the more you knew he was close. And you're like, okay, he's all the way upstairs. I'm not scared right now. But this is like, like he could just be standing next to a car, smoking a joint, waiting for you. Fucking hell.
Wow.
He could be in the car. He could be Brad. We don't
He
know.
is the car.
He is the car. He's the entire city. He'll just like. So other than him looking like a fucking idiot, now they're actually down scary, and I'm a little bit more excited to play this game.
I hear that they're keeping a lot of the enemies.
It's just gonna make it more insulting when he beats your ass, because it's like, oh, really? He fucking killed me? God damn it.
Yeah, but you know
Fucking
what? I'm gonna
doofus.
have 80 hours to get around him. So I don't have to worry about this shit. That's why I beat you guys to it.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's early. You sparked a question for me. So like, you said like you took about 8 hours to complete RE3 the original, right?
Jess?
Yes.
Yes.
So
It was a silent yes. Of
so how many hours were you playing as Carlos?
I don't know. I told you this was like this playthrough that I started when it first came to the PS3.
Good times.
You know what?
I
They
haven't
weren't.
played it in like over 10 years, so I have it. I just haven't played it.
I picked it up again recently, and I was like, I'm gonna play through it and finish it before the
Get
remake
ready.
comes out. Now I have like 4 months, so I don't know about that. But
Scarred me as a child, so
You know
I
what?
like refuse.
Yeah, honestly,
I-
the third game
did
is the one I played the least.
But I pre-ordered it anyway.
Yeah, it's
There you
probably
go.
one that I played the least, but I mean, I still played it quite a bit. But
oh, and
yeah.
Sorry, I just saw on my notes the word opinion written really wrong. Hey,
Opinion
didn't even
on-
check it out. While we're on the subject, if you're listening, Jill, I know you're fucking listening sometimes. Our friend Jill, who's been on the podcast, she pre-ordered the collector's edition
God damn it!
and told me about it, and I don't even think she's ever gonna fucking play it.
Tell her I will
So-
buy it from her. I
I
need
think she
mine.
just wanted a mini her,
Oh wow!
Mini her.
but I don't
Mini
know.
her,
I could just
frickin'
send
mini her.
Mini
How
her.
about no?
She wanted a little sandwich.
On the topic
Uh,
of spending 80 hours to beat Resident Evil 3,
Wow.
they also mentioned that Resident Evil 3 is not going to be an open world game. I guess that was something that was kind of floating around there for a little bit.
Oh,
But it's going to have larger expanded areas and more to explore than the original had. But it's still going to be very much a similar experience to the original, where it's big and there's, kind of loop arounds and stuff like that. But it's still going to be relatively linear and kind of confined on, to a degree.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, I don't need more fucking open world games. I like open world games, but stop. Not everything
If it's not
needs to be
broke,
one.
Don't fix it.
Exactly.
It's
So-
getting boring.
I'm just picturing you got open world and you're testing the boundaries of the game. So you're climbing this fucking obscene mountain, like jump climbing, and then out of nowhere, Nemesis just shows up. And it's like,
Oh no.
And then a
That would be
couple
horrible.
negative things that you did not mention. Were you done with Resident Evil 3?
yeah, I didn't have, as much as I could find, and some sites were crashing a lot. So that's unfortunately.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so you kind of mentioned it before, but the choice system where like you would run into Nemesis and it'd be like, what do you want to do? Do you want to run? Do you want to grab this electrical cord and shock him, or do these things? Like, there were moments where you could make a decision, and that would determine whether you're going to fight him or not, or whether you can get
You want to
like
pay for $99 to get away.
whether you can get an item from him or whatever. To specific things like that. That's going away completely. You're not going to have
Thank
any
fucking
choices.
God.
What?
I can't make decisions.
Choices.
Wow.
I hate choices.
That was great. It obviously it did its job well because it builds tension. It's like you have a couple of seconds to make this choice, and this could mean either I get to run away or I have to fight him, and it's
I'm afraid
stressful.
of decisions.
It's
more
great,
than
especially it's like
Nemesis.
you're fucking running around, you have like no ammo, and then it's like boom, you run into Nemesis, make a choice. It's like, oh fuck, like that's really stressful, and that's a great mechanic. That's gone.
Well, if anything, what they're probably going to do instead is they're probably just going to like kind of design some of the areas to where you'll kind of be able to naturally make those kinds of choices yourself as far as how you want to deal with Nemesis, as opposed to just being limited to those choices.
Yeah, like you have a hole in the ground, or you have
Maybe.
like the bridge behind them, and you just either jump down the.
See, if they, I mean, I still like that idea that they turn it into a cinematic and it's like, hey, here comes Nemesis, and then it's like you have a second to make a
QTEs.
choice. Like, I do like that. It's not even a QTE. It's just like, I don't know. It's just a different kind of tension that they give you, which kind of
Yeah.
breaks things up a little bit,
So
which I
guess,
like.
like the other, yeah, I guess the other problem though is that like because of the fact that Jazz is explaining that they're doing like a more untethered version of Nemesis where he just shows up anywhere.
Mhm.
Then at that point you can't really make scripted choices
It's
like that.
yeah, it's harder.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's going to pop up in the story regardless, right? There's going to be scripted
Right.
moments despite him having a free roaming mechanic. So, I mean, they could still implement that into like, hey, you came across this bridge, boom, Nemesis. You know, it could still work hand in hand. But
Yeah.
what could be like a good alternative would be like, I mentioned, oh, hey, there's like a exposed electrical wire. You can grab that and shock Nemesis or whatever, throw it into like some water, you know, when he walks in and electrocute him. That was a scenario that happened in the original. So like maybe not have that like a cinematic event where it's just there on the ground and you can run up and do that. Like that would be cool, but I don't think they're doing that because that would be really difficult to do if Nemesis is roaming around. If you don't, you know, stop things and teleport Nemesis over to that area that has the ability for you to do that, you're probably
Right.
going to miss that, and it doesn't really make sense to design mechanics around something that's probably going to be missed by 90% of people. So I don't think that's what they're going to do, but like that's the only way for me that I would be okay with it, because I really liked that element of Resident Evil 3 and it was something different, and like I just like that bit of tension that they added. What the fuck?
If anything, they might do more of like a Resident Evil 4 type of thing where it's just like, oh, there's some barrels here,
Yeah.
that you can shoot, and like have that be more of a common thread.
Yeah, it just feels like it's a watered down alternative.
What is wrong with
Yeah,
you?
is
I think
wrong
it's just
with you,
going to
Diz?
depend on like it's going to depend on just how like the game is structured and like just how often Nemesis actually does pop up, especially
Yeah.
in coinciding with the story too.
Yeah, they could get away with it. They could be doing something new. You know, it's hard to say, but just hearing them say that that's going away and not giving us like a substitution.
An alternative.
Yeah, like if they were going to supplement that with something different, now would probably be the time to say that. So the odds are they're just throwing it away. What the fuck is going on with you, Diz?
I'm excited for the facial animations at 500%.
Oh,
my
God damn it.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
God,
For Nemesis?
Yeah.
He's already there.
make
What are
him
you
look
talking
scary.
about?
I'm already beautiful.
Does his face will look normal?
Oh, I just looked at your picture, Sean. I started laughing.
Yeah.
Another thing
that's
too,
fine.
another negative thing, last thing for Resident Evil 3 Remake, but as suspected, the Mercenaries mode will not be making a return, which is super disappointing for me and a lot of other Resident Evil 3 fans, because that was like the pinnacle of the Mercenaries mode. Like that was the best iteration of that, because it was just really cool and unique, and it felt like it didn't feel like this separate little mini game. Like it was kind of built into the world, and it's like, you know, you pick your character and you run through the area, and like your mission is to go and find survivors. So it's like you're kind of going through the same environments again, but you're experiencing new things. It's like, you know, you're earlier on in the story and you're rescuing people, and they can live or die depending on, you know, how quickly you get there, and you get rewards that help make the game a little bit easier. Like if you get to somebody on time, you could get like an upgrade for your weapon or a healing item or something like that. And it was just really deep, like with a dodging mechanic. You know, every time you dodge a zombie, you get more time. You know, if you get like headshots on zombies, which can be more common when you get an upgrade for your handgun, that'll like give you increased like headshot potential and stuff like that. So it was pretty deep for an old school style Resident Evil like tank control kind of game. It had a lot of depth that it didn't really need to have, and it was just really fun to kind of go in to a Resident Evil and see survivors and get to rescue them, because that's not something you really get to do in any of the games, even the current games. You know, you're dealing with the aftermath. Everybody's dead. interact with more than like a handful of people. So it was just kind of a neat dynamic to see, and it was executed really well. It was really fun to play. And now that's gone. And you know what we're getting instead? Fucking Project Resistance, which is garbage.
I'm resisting that.
Oh.
I totally forgot about that.
Fuck it. Like, it's the worst case situation. Not only are we losing that great mode, but they're giving us one of the worst fucking multiplayer experiences that they've ever done. Great. Thanks.
It's like,
honestly,
but worse.
I had more fun playing Umbrella Corps than I did playing Project Resistance.
Oh,
Don't
God.
lie.
So,
God, that's awful.
With every shitty multiplayer Resident Evil game that they make comes a great opportunity for machinima.
nah, I don't even think it's
We can
usable.
make
There's
it
Oh no.
they
It was
like
funny.
it's they
Sean
super
doesn't think it's usable?
No, well they super gamified it too. It's like when you get hit or you hit something, like numbers come up and there's damage and health bars and there's shit all over the screen. Like, it's not cinematic in any way. It's super gamified, and it just, you can't make a machinima out of that. It's too
There's
messy.
a lot of shit on this
Well, I mean,
podcast this week.
You can. There's always a way.
The shit cast.
Use those like a fucking, frame for like a Scott Pilgrim type story device. It's like, oh, they're in
Yeah.
a video game, but it's horrifying now.
Jumanji.
See, we can make it work.
See, yeah.
Just gotta use your imagination, bitch.
I
Will
don't
it be-
like your
will it be
positivity.
great?
Okay.
Oh.
Optimism for stupid.
Yeah, you idiot.
Fucking dumbass.
Yeah. Did you have anything else, Sean?
Yeah, I got a couple things we'll kind of blow through real quick. But Microsoft is making bold business decisions by leaning into having less exclusive titles on their next-gen platform.
Oh.
Because that's smart. It's no secret that the Xbox One has substantially less exclusive titles than Sony's PS4, to the point that the low amount of exclusives is contributing to the Sony dominating this console generation. That's something that typically comes up in conversation, when everybody talks about exclusives. Like, what the fuck is on the Xbox? Nothing. They have Halo, Gears of War, which nobody cared about. So it's just like, they're really suffering in the exclusives department. And that's really a driving factor into when you're considering buying a console. It's like, what's the point of getting this system? What does it have to offer? Oh, exclusives. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And they've always heard in that department. So despite that, and the fact that Microsoft has recently acquired several new studios that they bought specifically to get exclusives, at least I thought, apparently not. Yep. Microsoft announced that the Xbox Series X will no longer have exclusives at all. Instead, every video game that comes out on the Series X is going to be available cross Microsoft platforms. So everything that comes out on Series X will be available on the Xbox One S, Xbox One X, and PC. Nothing will be specific to the Series X system.
So then what's the point of that console?
Exactly.
Yeah, even more reason to not get it.
Exactly. You don't need to buy it. The only thing you're going to get is a beefed up version of the game. It's going to look a little bit better. I'm always talking about, it's turning into a PC. Here's your proof. It's 100% turning into a PC. There's no incentive to upgrading your hardware other than making it look a little bit prettier. And guess what? That's what you get with a PC. Fucking stupid.
Dirt. And you think Microsoft would know about that, right?
Yeah, you would think.
Oh, God.
Well,
and the games are going to suffer to some degree because they have to make every title that's going to be on Xbox Series X run on the lowest model of Xbox One, which means they're going to be limited as to how good they can make that look and how it's going to perform, because if it can't run on the shitty system, they can't make it. What a fucking
what's
stupid...
the point?
Yeah, there is no point. What a terrible business decision. It's like they gave up. They're like, well, we're this far behind. Fuck it.
Like I said, things that make sense don't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That makes sense.
It does.
So, yeah, I'm not getting that system. I'm good.
Not
Yeah,
me
I
either.
won't.
We'll see what they do with the PS5, but I don't know.
This is just like from somebody I heard from yesterday, because I work with him. He's super into gaming and stuff. He said it's gonna be back backwards compatible with all this, all the way back to the PS1. So I don't know. That's just what I heard from him.
That's concerning,
That'd be
though,
nice.
because what does that mean? Technically,
Yeah, I don't know.
Xbox is doing the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, I don't know. He said that, and I'm like, really?
Because on Xbox, you can play original Xbox games all the way through Xbox Series S. But the games are also fucking interchangeable going forward. So it seems like PlayStation's going to be doing a similar model. So we might be dealing with the same situation when it comes to PS5 too. So
Sony, I will whoop
I don't
your
know.
ass personally.
I really hope not.
Personally.
Personally, I will drive down there. But speaking
don't
of
need
PlayStation 5, PlayStation revealed the PS5 logo for their next-gen system. And guess what they did? They took the existing logo, they removed the 4, and they added a 5.
What?
I
I was
remember-
expecting a 6.
I remember seeing that too, and I was just like,
Groundbreaking
this is a big fucking announcement.
Right?
my fucking god, I'm so hyped, dude.
So exciting.
It's a logo. Fuck yeah.
So, have they not released pictures of what it looks like? Or have they?
No, there's just a prototype.
Oh, okay. Because my friend was like, did you see what it looks like? I'm like, I'm pretty sure. No.
I hope it looks
So
nothing like that
neat.
prototype, because that thing is ugly as fuck.
What's wrong with the
didn't even-
V-looking
I
It's
console?
Garbo.
I haven't seen the prototype.
I love
There's a
Garbo.
prototype? What?
Garbo's my favorite.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I'm gonna continue.
Garbage.
I'm gonna Google it.
What?
You Google it.
I haven't seen
Google.
it.
Breaking
Let me
news.
check out the Google.
Last thing on the
I can't
news, Platinum Games is now a self-publishing developer, which is great.
Who?
After receiving capital investment from industry giant Tencent, Platinum Games is now free to self-publish their content. Previously, Platinum was attached to Sega as a publisher, and then more recently Nintendo, which locked in games like Bayonetta and Astral Chain to the Wii U and the Switch. But free of an outside publisher, this gives them great freedom on any new titles that they work on in the future, and may also free up exclusive titles like Bayonetta to appear on other platforms. So, as a fan of Bayonetta, I played that on the Xbox, and I was a fan of Bayonetta as an Xbox person. And then when the second game came out, it was exclusive to the Wii U, which I was never going to buy because it's garbage.
Right.
But they had to do that because Nintendo picked them up as a developer specifically for Nintendo. So they had no choice but to make it exclusive to, Nintendo consoles. So from that point forward, you were never going to see another Bayonetta on another system outside of Nintendo, including Bayonetta 3, which is coming up. But now that they're an independent developer and publisher, they can self-publish. Depending on how the rights ownership works out with Bayonetta, they might actually be able to put that out multi-platform. Or at the very least, they could do like a launch on Switch exclusively, and then a year later or so, they can self-publish it to Xbox and PlayStation, which would be great because that would offer a lot more exposure to Bayonetta and to Platinum Games, and hopefully if they're releasing their games on more platforms, it's going to give them more exposure and obviously more sales, because the problem is Bayonetta's never been like a blockbuster title, but it's always been a really good franchise. So there's a chance that it could die off at any time, because if you can only buy that on Switch, how many copies are they going to sell, right? It's a more kiddie kind of style. Most of the people that play on Nintendo platforms are typically younger, so there's not a huge market for something that's mature like Bayonetta. So the sales there are going to be very limited. So I never expected to get a Bayonetta 3, honestly. So the fact that we're getting that is kind of surprising. So that could come out, be really good, and we'll still never see a sequel because the sales just aren't there. So when they can put it out on multiple platforms, especially platforms that have a older audience, like Microsoft and Sony, they're going to get more sales, which is going to drive them going forward doing future titles. So that's good, because I don't want to see Bayonetta die, because it's amazing. It's just as good as Devil May Cry. What's up?
This is back to
It's back to what?
thing. Is that what
The future?
You,
PS5?
you cut out.
Sorry,
Back
I
to what?
leaned away. I leaned away.
Of course you did.
I'm sorry.
You're known to do that, apparently.
It's your thing.
am. Is it that V looking bullshit?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Thank you.
I like the
Thank you.
V-looking bullshit.
No, V is bullshit.
V is for bullshit.
I was gonna make a joke, but it's kind of gross. Moving on.
Oh,
It looks like
He
a
is
console you
perfect.
can lick out.
wow!
You did the joke
Alec,
for
go
me.
to your room.
I am.
Fired.
Oh, he'll go there, all right.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, that's all the news.
But on a serious note, like Sean definitely brings up some good points there, especially because of the idea of like, when you have a title that's like exclusive to one system, but then gets totally like changed to another system for exclusivity, like that totally creates a rift in like trying to keep up with the franchise, because you're just like, oh, Bayonetta 1 was on Xbox, but then Bayonetta 2 is on Wii U. I want to get the fucking Wii U just to be able to like continue with the franchise. So like,
Yeah.
whenever that kind of shit happens, that really like fucks things up for fans. So it's definitely good for Platinum to actually be able to self-publish, because then it's like they don't have to worry about that limitation anymore.
Yeah,
And they could go the way of like Resident Evil 4 and be like the biggest corporate whores and like being on every single platform ever.
Yeah,
Which
and
I'm all for.
like look at that situation, right? It's kind of a similar scenario where you're taking a M-rated franchise like Resident Evil that started out on PlayStation, primarily, and then they're going to make it exclusive on GameCube? What the fuck? And then those games failed miserably? That should have shocked nobody. There's no market on that platform for that kind of a game. And then you're alienating all the PlayStation people that have, come to enjoy Resident Evil titles, because you're saying, hey, guess what? You want to play the next title? You're going to have to buy a new system. That probably doesn't appeal to you because it's marketed towards a younger audience. That's like suicide. If you want your game to fail miserably, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Although I will say the GameCube was fucking amazing.
No,
so
it was. I loved it. But the majority of people are going to buy one system. Not everybody can buy multiple platforms, so they're going to have to pick one. And there's, you get comfortable with the brand, right? It's like if your first system was a PlayStation console, you're more likely to stick with that console going forward. You might sidetrack to another system down the road, but the odds are you're going to stick with what you know and what you're comfortable with. So when you continue to go PlayStation and the franchise you like goes in a different direction, that's going to be really frustrating.
Because everybody was comfortable with the Wii U, right?
I skipped that one. I got everything else, but I skipped that one.
You and everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, it was such a disaster with Resident Evil that that's part of why Shinji Mikami left, because he's like, no, Resident Evil 4 is never going to leave GameCube. And Capcom was like, fuck you, we're making no money. We're putting this on everything. And he's like, oh, okay, bye.
It's like, weird reason to leave.
I mean, I kind of get it, because he made a commitment and he stood by that commitment, which is respectable, but it's a business and you got to make the money.
Why do you make that commitment in the first place?
Exactly. Yeah. I guess he was confident in the choice, and they should have been. Like they shouldn't have made that decision unless they were confident that it was going to be successful. But how could you? How could you not see the train wreck that's about to happen?
Even us, like, non-business savvy people know that's a bad idea.
Right? What are your fucking marketing people doing?
I don't understand why things that should be so easy to understand are not.
Because things that make sense
don't make sense.
Like,
I'm sensing a trend here.
Yeah.
That's the episode title right there.
Yeah, that's the name of the podcast.
yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
So you said we are good on
Yep. No more news. No more news.
no more
Yeah,
news.
news
for
is
now.
canceled. Bye.
Bye. Gone forever.
It's canceled forever.
Fox
So-
News shut down.
Oh.
Last week, you had that machinima segment. Machinima talk. Machinima talk. Part of that segment is the second part, which is the survival horror talk, which is what we're doing this
Survival
this year.
horrors.
Oh boy. What did you say?
Surviving horrors talk.
Survive horrors.
Horrors talk. So everybody knows what survival horror is.
What? No.
Everybody knows what
That's-
it's supposed to be.
That's that Resident Evil 6 game, right? That's survival horror.
Listen.
Oh,
Everyone knows what it is, but What it actually is. I'm doing the air quotes while I'm saying that. You can't. So here's a little Googleized Wikipedia description. Survival horror is a subgenre of video games inspired by horror fiction that focuses on survival of the character as the game tries to frighten players with either horror graphics or scary ambience. So it's not fucking like Call of Duty, but with
What, you
Resident
telling
Evil
me Call of
characters.
Duty Zombies isn't survival
No.
horror?
It's not.
You telling me the Nazis weren't horrible?
So Resident Evil 1, survival horror. Resident Evil 5, not survival horror.
What?
It's not. It's an action walkthrough, well, not walkthrough, but like you have a guided path and there's
Yeah.
no puzzle.
Linear action.
Sure,
deals.
that's the word you want.
I thought it was a point and click.
Yes.
No.
It's if you play it on PC, yes.
So with that logic, is Resident Evil 4 also not survival horror?
I wouldn't.
It's not
I feel
really.
like it's borderline.
It's riding the line, but I think it's just
Because-
slightly over it. Like it's not. It has a little bit of survival horror in there, but ultimately, no.
It's the
Yes.
one that kind of started.
Kind
in
of.
the bed. Kind of started in
It's
bed
the one
and
that
Oh, it
started.
totally
Yeah, it put the first stain on the mattress.
But it was like a
Don't
really
ever
good.
say that.
It had a good meal beforehand.
It shit the bed.
Oh god.
So
But then Resident Evil 5 is when it started.
on the subject of survival horror and Resident
Oh no.
who did we kill? Did we kill Alex? And
Yeah,
Austin?
Alex did.
I'm good.
Yeah. So God damn it! Now I'm all over the place now.
Survival horror, what is it?
Speaking of survival
Yeah.
horror and Resident Evil, Resident Evil was based off what is often called survival horror game, which is called Sweet Home from 1989.
Yep.
And it's exactly Resident Evil, but because it was first, that makes sense why it was, what's that word I used? Based on English. Sweet Home was developed by Capcom for the quote-unquote family computer, which I believe is just the computer your family uses, unless there was an actual system called a family computer.
It was the Famicom.
Yeah, it's the
Famicom.
NES in Japan.
The Japanese one.
It was based off of a Japanese movie. Sorry, I didn't put movie of the same name. And it tells the story of 5 filmmakers exploring an old mansion in search of what they call frescoes. It's like mural paintings. It's done like on lime, like the Jesus shit and all that stuff. And
Jesus.
Jesus, you gotta find Jesus.
I gotta go for Jesus.
You gotta find the J-Man. And as they explore the mansion, they encounter hostile ghosts and other supernatural enemies. And the player must navigate the mansion, battle enemies, keep the characters alive with limited weapons, health restorative items. So it's Resident Evil, but 1989.
Does that sound like super duper familiar? Like all that shit that you just went through, all those details?
Yeah, it's Resident Evil.
I wonder.
Resident Evil 7, like that's exactly what the
Yeah.
game
that's-
is.
That's what I picked up.
Yeah,
totally
and that's
thinking that too.
that was the point too. Like they did that intentionally because like the whole point was like bring back survival horror, take it back to the roots of survival horror, and they pulled directly from Sweet Home and essentially made that beginning part Sweet Home, which was really cool. You got to give them
They
props for
literally
that.
took the roots out and put it on the game.
Yeah.
The problem. But yeah, so when you think of survival horror game, what do you guys expect to see when you're about to start playing a game? So like if you
Penis.
don't know anything about the game itself and somebody's like, "Oh, I have this survival horror game you have to try." What do you expect that you're about to go through like mentally and whatever?
Stress.
Well, I expect to wear the brown pants because I gotta be shit.
I mean, you expect to be frightened and stressed out and challenged.
I also expect that you're going to have like severe limitations with how you're going to play the game,
Yeah.
whether it be like you have limited inventory or you have like no weapons at all, or if you have like limited movement, like any kind of major limitations like that is usually what I expect.
Yep, and
If
all
I
that.
don't die, I don't want it.
Wow. And all that kind of factors back into like being scared, being stressed out, right? Because it's like you have limited inventory space. You can only pick up so many things. You can only hold so much ammo. You can only have so many healing items, right? It's a stressful situation. Same thing with like limited controllability. The more you can control and maneuver and dodge, the less scary it is, right? You have more, the enemies aren't a threat, right? Because you can just walk around them or run around them or dodge or do whatever. So the less control you have, the more stressed you are and the more scary it is because the zombies, the enemies have more weight because they're more of a threat to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really like ambience. Like
That's important too.
Yes.
That's what really freaked me out when I first played Resident Evil 4. It has really good ambience in that game. I'll
Well,
admit
for
that.
me, it was like just when I first played the first remake, like just going through the mansion with the way they redid everything, like ugh. Like for the longest time, I was just all like, I do not want to be in here at all.
Yeah.
You know what's funny with the remake? I was like, the mansion didn't look as spooky. I don't know why, but it was when you go down in the graveyard to where the elder zombie is. That fucked those torches, and I thought something was moving down there.
That was creepy as fuck.
I sleep down there.
In the basement.
The elder. We bunk with the zombie.
Yeah, dude.
Where do you think all that blood came from?
Oh my god.
It was from all the intense snuggling.
It was good.
Yeah.
Going back to the spunk on the mattress.
What?
Oh,
Wait, when did the shit turn into spunk? What?
It's Alec. That's when it minded like that.
Evil.
Alec,
my
what are your
God.
thoughts?
I want it to be immediately immersive so that when you start playing a survival horror game, you forget where you are in reality, what you're doing around you physically, and you're instantly into the character of the game. So it depends what the enemies are, but yeah, that's pretty much what I expect.
Okay, I hate to be a Resident Evil 7 social justice warrior here, but listen,
That's the thing.
like, for all the flaws that Resident Evil 7 has, like, it did do some things really well. Like, you talk about immersion and shit like that, especially with audio and whatnot. Like, the VR mode in that game is a completely different experience in VR, and it's because of what you just said, Alec. Like, you feel like you're there, and everything just becomes like your brain is interpreting the images as reality because like the motion and what you're seeing, like everything that you're experiencing, your body is telling you real. Like, in the back of your mind, you're playing a game, but that VR element just turns all that shit up by default to 11. And that's incredible. And it did that really well. And then like when you're playing it with like a headset, like a good quality headset, like you are completely literally cut off from the world, right? You can't hear what the fuck is happening around you. In reality, you're just hearing the game. You're just seeing the game. Like you're 100% there and you're super duper immersed in that experience. And they did that really, really well. So I think it deserves props there. And like just that little thing that they did tying back to Sweet Home in the beginning, like there's some cool things that people should appreciate about Resident Evil 7, even though it did drop the ball overall. It did miss the mark, but there's some good shit there.
Yeah,
Sure,
I
it's a
personally
good
still love
game,
it.
but it's just don't call it Resident Evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just I want to wait until I get myself before I go back into that game because I feel like I'll enjoy it a little bit that way.
They should call it Sweet Home Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Alabama.
Sweet Home Raccoon City.
But we're in Louisiana. We're not in
Louisiana.
Alabama anymore.
Where's my sister?
Oh no.
No, that's what Alex said.
Oh no.
I don't steal jokes. Wah!
She credited him.
I just quote them.
Like, she's not my wife, she's my sister. But she might be my wife later.
My sister wife.
Yes.
My mother, father.
Sister.
My
Zoe,
sister-
the wife's out.
My mother,
It's a
father.
bacon all
My
gets naked.
Oh!
We're
My sister,
derailing.
my grandma. Okay.
As we do.
No,
So-
here. Pff, you're crazy.
So I have another question. If you guys were to either create or pick the next game that would be created, that's survival horror, what atmosphere, setting, plot, whatever, what would you like think would be the scariest game to be immersed in?
Ooh. Like as far as like trying to think of a setting that hasn't been like done before that would be terrifying.
Well, like even if if it's been done before, but to you, you're like, well, I was scared, but I would have been more scared if this.
Yeah, that's a
Like
good question.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that.
I would say you're trapped in a room initially, and there's a psychopath serial killer.
Resident Sorry.
And then you escape somehow, and then you go into the world, but then you don't know who to trust. You meet up with a police officer, you think he's safe, and then he turns out to be an evil bastard, like me.
It turns out to be Alec, and then
All of them, they're all British.
oh no,
Yeah, they're all evil. Look at the crooked teeth; they're all fucking evil.
oh my god,
Jesus.
But yeah, just because I don't think that's really been done all that much. Really, I can't really think of an example.
But would that fall more towards psychological?
Well,
is that
you're
like-
trying to survive the horror
Yeah.
of being killed. So
You're just talking about
Like, is this-
Outlast, you fuck. Ass
A lot
last.
I feel like there needs to be some. I feel like I'm going to sound stupid saying this, but I feel like there needs to be at least some psychological fuckery, because that's what scares me the most.
Yeah,
Is when things are fucking playing with my head.
when it gets too real,
It's a
Yes.
fine line, though.
Yeah,
it is.
Because you start riding that line, you get ghosts and shit.
ghosts.
Ooh.
Ghost.
You get the spooks.
The
Keep
Yeah,
your
actually,
spooks out of my Resident Evil.
Fucking ghosts get.
Yeah.
Ooh, my voice cracked.
Huh.
Get the
your,
fuck out of here,
your
ghost.
balls finally dropped.
His voice finally dropped. She's a real boy.
I'm a real man now.
Uh-oh.
Can I have your number?
Wow.
What's up?
Slide to my
later.
DMs, please.
Jesus. Resident Evil, everybody.
Anybody else? Have any?
I was talking to Shaun.
Oh, I'm already slid up in there. Boy. Anywho.
Yeah, anyhow.
Oh.
Shaun, the ultimate survival horror setting is being trapped in a room with Austin, apparently.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm the psycho serial killer that's in Alec's situation.
Oh no.
Honestly,
All you have is a whistle.
I just want PT. Give me fucking PT in VR, and you fuck.
What's
That-
That
would be
shit is
amazing.
horrifying.
But that had ghosts in it.
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, but it would. Well, maybe you don't know. You don't
Oh,
know
for God's sake.
where was the ghost? That thing was.
It's the
that thing
it's
was-
the Silent Hills thing.
That thing was
Jazz.
teleporting around and doing the like quick movement shit. You don't know that it was a ghost.
Yeah, I don't like that. That freaked me out.
It's fucking horrifying.
The scariest thing to me is the uncanny valley, where they look like
Yes.
humans or they sound like humans. That shit unsettles me so much.
And that game
That's
did
fair.
that fucking incredible, and just like
Yeah,
the atmosphere.
That's why Until
I mean,
Dawn fucked me up, because there was a section where the Wendigos were like trying to. They were mimicking people's voices, and I'm like, no, fucking
Oh,
no.
yeah.
just think of the potential that game had. All they did was took a fucking hallway, threw one enemy in there, and terrified the shit out of everybody.
I
Like
know, it
that was just
amazing.
the tippy top of the iceberg. Like that game had so much fucking potential, and if they had, since it was first person, if they had thrown you into VR on top of that,
No,
I guarantee people would have literally fucking had heart attacks,
have-
and that's
you
great.
right.
to fucking wear
Put a
it.
label on that
Yeah.
box, play at your own risk. I'm all about it. That would be incredible.
Shaun wants them all to die.
See, if I had it in fucking VR, I'd get motion sickness and like vomit on the floor before anything scared me.
Oh wow,
Just sit,
the
sitting
fear
on
of
the
vomit.
toilet playing VR just in case you need to piss.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm ready.
I'm kind of torn on that. Like I personally prefer either third person or fixed camera angles in my survival horror, but there is something to be said about, VR survival horror, because it does feel so much more realistic, and it has way more opportunities to horrify you because it is more believable. But I don't know, I'd like to see something along the lines of whatever PT or Silent Hill original, where, they're putting a more emphasis on limiting your visibility. Like Silent Hill originally, that was just a limitation at the time. They needed the extra processing time to populate the environment, so they put fog everywhere. And that turned into Silent Hill's identity, which was lucky for them, I guess. But just having that super limited visibility, only being able to see like a couple feet in front of you, I feel like that's something that hasn't really been tapped into very well. And I feel like PT, Silent Hills, whatever, was kind of going that direction. But instead of fog, they were using darkness. And I think if somebody used that, like use the darkness, use fog, use limiting your visibility in a way that's unique, kind of make the darkness like your biggest enemy. You can't see what the fuck you're doing. And then you can, in something like that, you can have a very limited enemy pool, because most of what you're getting, most of the horror's coming from the unknown, right? You're just seeing shapes in the darkness and things moving, and you don't know what the fuck that is. So when you do finally see an enemy, like, it makes a bigger impact. Just make a handful of really horrifying enemies, and you could actually do that. Yeah, you're just fucking with your mind and just the fear of the unknown, and that just hasn't really been tapped, I feel, and I think that would be a cool direction.
Probably would have tapped into that.
PT.
Fucking Silent Hills.
Yep.
But, what? Konami was like, this is gonna be too good, so fuck that.
This is gonna make us money? What the fuck?
Has
Get
so
out!
much potential.
We don't want that.
Metal Gear Survive? Yes, please.
God.
Man, get the fuck out of here with
Castlevania, throw that in the garbage. Let's make some pocket slot machines. Pachinko.
Oh, yeah, Hideo Kojima, could you have our balls in your mouth, please? He's like, fuck this, we're gonna go make a walking simulator.
Another thing I would like to see them, Capcom, go back and make and release Resident Evil 1.5, just because I want to experience that. And since I think it was like 75% done or 70% done, like it was close to being done, it would be such an amazing, just, we appreciate the fans kind of a move to just release that shit, because every Resident Evil fan on the planet would be thrilled to buy that shit and just experience that old school, new Resident Evil experience the way that it was intended to. They wouldn't even have to put that much effort into it, and that would just be really cool to have and play.
Capcom, if you're listening.
Okay.
And I always
listen to any of these.
And I always thought it would be cool to do the original idea of what Resident Evil 4 was going to be, like before they turned it into, well,
3.5.
that's a complex thing, actually, because there was like fuck you. There was like 6 versions of what that game was supposed to be. And the very first one, before it was even about Leon doing anything, like Resident Evil 4 was supposed to be about taking down Umbrella. That's a novel fucking concept.
Right?
They built up Umbrella through the first essentially 4 games, right? Through Code Veronica. 4 was supposed to be about taking down that corporation that you're familiar with and is the bad guy, and persistent thing from game to game to game. Like, I always thought that would be the end game, right? Take down Umbrella. That's the big bad. But we never got there. And then when we did get Resident Evil 4, they're just like, oh, by the way, Umbrella's gone. Anyway, let's go to this village. And I always thought that was really shitty, to just kind of tuck them under the rug and just move on. But originally, Resident Evil 4 was supposed to be about, I can't remember the cast, but it was supposed to be most of the main cast from the original Resident Evil games. Like, it's supposed to be Jill and Barry and Chris, and I think a couple others, maybe Rebecca, I can't remember. And it was supposed to have like a new character that was supposed to be like an informant or whatever that worked for Umbrella, that was working with Stars to take down Umbrella from the inside or whatever. And they all teamed up. No. And they all got together, and they the whole idea of the game was supposed to be just taking them down, and they were supposed to do it as a team, right? The original team was supposed to reassemble and take down Umbrella, and maybe they could have done the whole casualty thing and killed off a couple people and made it all epic and stuff, all these things that I always wanted. And this was a concept that was around so long ago, and we never got there. So I feel like it's just such a big missed opportunity to see things just kind of drawn out and throw Umbrella out the window and just all these kind of missteps that they've taken throughout the history of the franchise. Like, I'd love to see them maybe take a step back and, you know, they do it with movies where they just say like, fuck all these other movies. This is the new starting point. This is the new sequel or whatever. It'd be cool to see like an alternate take on where the story would have gone. And like maybe the series ended there and they took down Umbrella or whatever, kind of what that whole thing looked like. I'd love to see something like that.
All the shit you thought you knew. Yeah, fuck that. It's in the trash. We're going with
It's
this
bullshit.
now. Boom.
See, I wouldn't want that necessarily. Like, I would just rather it be like an alternate, like a what if kind of situation. I wouldn't want them to like trash all the current canon and start over.
Make it a fever dream.
Yeah, no, please. I hate when they do that. But what ifs are kind of fun. You know, you can do something a little bit different without, you know, shitting on the continuity of the story.
Right.
I don't know.
And like
that'd be cool, but it kind of scares me.
It's a dangerous game.
We look at what's that one game?
Dangerous game.
What's that one for the PS3? What the fuck is that one game? The Resident Evil
that one game.
That one.
where you're playing as the squad.
What?
Operation Raccoon City.
Yeah, that.
Oh, no, that's how you don't do it.
Exactly. Like, that's why it scares me. I'm like,
Yeah, and just that concept is kind of concerning. Like, if the idea of the game is going and taking down Umbrella, that sounds kind of actiony. So what does that look like? So I don't know. It'd be hard to do it justice, but the core idea, if executed correctly, could be really good. Kind of like Resident Evil 3, where you know you're dealing with nemesis and tons of enemies, and there is a lot of action, but it's still survival horror. You know, it's a line that you can ride and still stay true to survival horror. It's just you got to be careful. You don't want to turn into Resident Evil 6.
Exactly. Because we all know how that turned out. Yeah. But just to expand on what you were talking about, Shaun, especially like when it comes to like all those different versions of Resident Evil 4 that they went through, right? So I don't know if you guys remember or if you ever actually like played it, but there was like one of the demo versions that somebody was able to like kind of release a version of it on to like, you know, you're able to like download it and like play it for yourself. Mm-hmm. And it was just like a very tiny like teaser of what that version of Resident Evil 4 could have been. And it was pretty much the one where like Leon is in the castle and like the castle is like way spookier and like, you know, there's apparently like, you know, weird hallucination things that happen or like weird ghostly things that happen, all that kind of stuff. So if anything, like it would have been cool to probably see that version fully realized, especially because like when it came to the way the castle is designed in that particular game, like they actually made it like really isolating, like really lonely and terrifying. Yes. So like if anything, that kind of setting, I feel like they could have revisited it again, because like with Resident Evil 4, when you go to the castle there, like it's totally fucking silly, like over the top.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
it's very action movie kind of thing. It's well lit.
We love the princess.
Yeah,
they have like Indiana Jones style traps and all that kind of shit.
You're literally finding treasure.
Yeah. Which is still fun, don't get me wrong.
No,
but,
it's
like,
fantastic, but it's
whatsoever.
not scary. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's just like, you know, as far as like really playing on the whole aspect of like, you know, an abandoned castle like that, like it's fucking huge and there's probably nobody in there because it's abandoned. And you know, it's probably also dark and cold and shitty too. So it's just like, yeah, it's not really a place you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
even though it may have been a fabulous place you wanted to be before when it was actually like, you know, inhabited.
Yeah. I like the idea that, you know, Leon was infected with a virus and stuff like that. I don't like the way that they took that in the end, you know, like with actual Resident Evil 4. It's like they did it, but not really, like whatever.
Yeah, it's like you just sit in a chair and you get stabbed a bit and you're fine.
It was a throwaway idea, but like the inception of that idea could have been really cool. It's like, get him infected and kind of make this his like last hurrah. You know, you're infected, you're fucked. And then like nobody knows what the hell that story was. Maybe it was about stopping Umbrella or whatever antagonist. But like it would have been cool to see kind of his final hours, kind of like his last hurrah, and then at the end of it he dies. You know, we talked about killing off characters and stuff like that. I think that would be a cool way to do that. And then you could have maybe the virus or whatever kind of infecting him and I don't know, like not giving him powers or anything crazy stupid like that, but like limiting him, like kind of putting crutches on him. Like the further you get into the game, like you have less control of yourself, or like your abilities are limited. Like as you progress through the game, you get weaker and weaker, and you can do less and less, and that just makes it more challenging. That concept could have gone a lot of directions, and could have implemented like an entirely new concept of survival and horror. You know, it's like the horror and the survival is coming from your body. Like that would be really cool.
And actually, on top of that, like you could even combine that with the whole like taking out an umbrella concept, where it's just like, oh, you know, Leon got infected with the virus, but he also like found a way to like take down Umbrella once and for all. So he's kind of like doing that as like a last ditch effort, because it's just like, well, he's only got so much to live, so he's gonna try and take down Umbrella with his last breath.
Have
you know,
a petition to have you two write Resident Evil 4.
Can do it.
And that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about too. It's like I mentioned killing off characters, but that doesn't mean like, oh, you know, Leon died in a helicopter crash 2 years ago and we never fucking actually showed you that. It's like, make it a big deal, you know, like a game, give him a game where it's about his death, his sacrifice, and you know, make it really dramatic and cool, so that it's a cool experience. You're making that sacrifice mean something and be overall impactful to the entire timeline of the franchise. You know, he's taking down Umbrella. Like this is a big fucking deal. He's dying for a reason, kind of a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that versus exactly. I like that versus like, oh, this character lived, but you're never gonna see him again. They never have any other relevance. And like,
or even kind of where we're at now. It's like everybody's like just getting older. Like the whole fucking Resident Evil cast is just gonna grow old and die. Like you're telling me all this shit, like all the shit that they've been through, all these like, especially with 6, like global disasters and outbreaks, and they've been in the thick of it for so long. You're telling me no one fucking died? Get out of here.
That's bullshit.
I especially love like just Chris Redfield's arc throughout the entirety of the series, where it's just like, you know, first he started off like, you know, a regular old rookie cop, and then like, you know, in Code Veronica, you know, he got more serious because like his rivalry with Wesker was much more developed, obviously. But then like Resident Evil 5 is just like, you know, sure, he's still got the Wesker thing, but like, you know, he's, you know, much more emphasized with, you know, Sheva and the BSAA and all that. But like he's still pretty like, you know, plucky, goody two shoes, sort of like doing the right thing all the time. But then, like, Resident Evil 6, they totally shit on that, and he's just like a fucking drunkard all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was so dumb.
He had nothing to fight for. I mean,
and then Resident Evil 7, he's like a completely different character now.
Yeah, it's like they had an opportunity to kind of do what we were talking about with killing off characters, too. Again, with Chris, it's like, oh, I lost my teammate, generic soldier number 1. Oh, fuck my life. Like, kill Claire. Like kill somebody that's well, no, like
kill that bitch.
I know that. No, like for real. If you're going to take his story arc in that direction, where it's like, oh, he's all depressed and sad and miserable because he lost somebody, make it meaningful. Like lose somebody that fucking matters. Lose somebody that the fans are attached to. Like make them sympathize with Chris. Why is Chris upset? The same reason you're upset. Somebody that mattered died. Who fucking cares about Sam the soldier or whatever the fuck?
They kind of did that with RE5.
Like Claire's a marketable character. We can't lose her.
They were like, they put, as we know, they put Jill in the fridge.
They fridged her.
They were like, oh, but like when you start the game, it goes from 4 to 5, and the last time you saw Jill and Chris, they were in a helicopter getting the fuck out. And then it's like you start the game and Chris is all like edgy and sad and shit. What's wrong with Chris? Then he's like, oh, by the way, Jill died. Here's a flashback. It happened randomly. And you're like, oh, okay, so he's gonna be more driven to kill her because like his fucking best friend or whatever. And then they're like, nope, she's still here.
And that is another shining example of how not to kill off a character. Exactly. Fucking, like, oh, I'm gonna tackle Wesker out the window. Did I die? Who knows? Fuck you.
Yeah, well, obviously Wesker didn't die, but then you're like, oh, there's a tombstone, so they buried her. Okay.
Yeah, then obviously it was a fake out anyway. Spoiler alert. For all those that didn't play Resident Evil 5, the most wonderful game ever.
They fucking love doing that.
He had no drive. Like in Code Veronica, he was like, you know, he had that extra push to go save his sister. And then in 5, he was like, oh, I bet she's still in Africa somewhere because I decided Africa.
Because I decided.
And at 6, he's like, everyone's fine. They're watching fucking TV, so I'm just going to drink.
And they love doing that misleading bullshit. Like, they did that with Jill, and then they did it with Chris and Leon. It's like, oh, Chris and Leon are pointing guns at each other. What's going on here? Spoiler alert, nothing.
Fucking nothing.
They're just measuring their dicks for a second.
Right? Like, when I saw that trailer, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening here? And it was literally nothing. I was very upset.
I still.
And that was
really
before I knew the game was garbage.
Yeah, among other reasons to be upset about that game.
when we first played that one, and like, you know, they decide like, hey, don't kill Ada. He's like, okay, fine. He's like, you're a dick, and they walk away. And Leon's just like, hey, Chris. As soon as he turns around, all I could think was like, fucked your sister.
Bitch.
Yeah, what you gonna do about it?
Actually,
I was just thinking of, you know how Chris's appearance changes pretty much every game? I was thinking in Resident Evil 8, he could become Christina.
God.
Oh, that'd be some real SJW shit right there. Christina Redfield.
And then in the next one, he'll turn into a dog.
Oh, fuck.
A duck.
They'll call him Scriff. Or Scriss.
He turns into a boulder.
Oh my god.
Damn it.
It's evolving.
Well,
Diz, did we get your opinion?
On
the
there was a lot going on.
You're right.
on Jazz's question.
Yeah.
There was a question.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, she answered.
Oh, okay.
She said
I think
that
I answered before you even
Oh,
asked the
you're
question.
right. You're right. I'm dumb. Don't mind me.
Fuck.
Yeah, you are. No.
What?
Man, you're such a good podcaster.
Wow. Hey, I'm not the host of this show. Fuck you.
Hey, fuck you.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's
Wow, you like to say fuck a lot, don't you?
Fuck you. No.
yeah. And that was our survival discussion. Talk time.
Talk time.
That was talk time.
It was very substantial. It didn't derail at all.
Survival horror
It-
time with
I
the
mean, it
Lord
maintained.
cast.
It maintained around survival horror and a game in the genre,
Oh,
and then it derailed about the game in the genre.
We derailed on topic, so it's progress.
Exactly.
It's true. It's true. It's time for a game.
Boo-doo-boo-boo.
Actually, Alec, before we go to your game, so Shaun a couple of weeks back mentioned that we are unfortunately retiring the SD Perry game. The what's that hell's making that quote?
Dante's
And-
very happy.
Dante's very happy he's not gonna be. I found every single piece of scrap paper documents on the computer on the laptop every day and
Do
did some
we
math.
have a wiener?
No.
Wow, okay.
So I decided, because it's so fucking all over the place. I did the math though, but I didn't want to save it. So this is a game to prove that the S.D. Perry books were so dumb and so far off from the main game. Like she's changed a lot that I didn't want to have an actual winner. So instead I took a page from Shaun's book and
boy.
I awarded trophies.
Oh!
Trophies.
Ooh.
Trophies.
I'll let you know right now there is a platinum trophy and it doesn't go to everybody. It goes to SD Perry.
Wow! Get the fuck out of here.
SD Perry gets the platinum trophy because if she hadn't written these amazing novels, the game never would have been created. So the novels are like the broken condom that led to a
Okay.
What an honor.
Yep.
The Broken Condom Award goes to SD Perry.
Now, you know, obviously,
In the shape of a dildo.
obviously,
I'll
Shaun,
put that right in
everybody...
the front hallway.
Put that in my ass.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
What?
Go on, Jazz, go on.
Get on the trophy. So,
Wow.
obviously, as you know, all the trophies that you get on PlayStation have, like, these really dumb little names. So I tried to give these little dumb little names.
Wait,
Yeah.
Little dumb little names.
real quick. I have
The
to
Broken
bring
Condom
this
Award.
up. I'm gonna derail for a brief second.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Street Fighter V. That trophy that I'm trying to get, the 100,000 monies dollars.
Is it called Give Up?
It's a goddamn bronze trophy.
Ah!
Fuck you.
Fucking
sorry.
bullshit. Anyways, you may continue.
Alright, so I'm going to start off by awarding the trophy called GG Well Played. And that goes to anyone who's appeared on the podcast just a couple times. Austin,
Oh,
I'm
that's a
sorry,
good way to
you
do
lost
it.
this one.
Aw.
I win
Have
something.
played the game and hopefully can join us again someday to try our new generation of games.
Yeah.
And I'm going to list, from what I can remember, there's Austin, get a little trophy. We got Waffle, Sasha, Jen, Maple, Nick. Anyone else I might have missed, I do apologize. And anybody that you guys know, you're getting other trophies. So, first trophy goes to Alec. It's called No Thanks, Bro.
Yeah.
And Alec has passed his quote onto another player more times than any other player.
Yes!
When did this
Take
turn
it
into
down
Mario
with him.
Party? Are we gonna fight?
No, you're
Yes!
getting trophies. You're getting trophies.
Oh, okay.
Because nobody loses or wins. Everybody loses for having participated.
I'll beat the crap out of you with my trophy. Whack!
Alright,
If you pay
So-
Sean 50 coins, he'll steal your trophy for you.
Exactly.
now, second trophy. It's called From Zero to Hero to Zero to Hero.
Sounds like
Goes to
me.
Cody.
Oh wow.
Goes to
Okay.
Cody.
Wow.
So he has had a score of 0 for the longest time, having lost and gained points almost consistently.
Wow.
He hasn't gone in the crazy amounts. He's stayed pretty stable.
Way
So,
to keep it
that-
neutral.
Well, that goes
Nice.
next trophy. Still in my 20s.
Mm.
Goes to Sean.
Oh.
Your score has
lose.
reached in 20s, both in positive and negative,
Oh,
and has
boy.
stayed
Hell
there.
yeah.
And has stayed there a lot. Most of the questions were about RE2, which is really
Yeah.
okay. Next one down the list, called I Am Rubber, You Are Glue, goes to Dante.
Mm.
No matter how many times I tried to fuck him up with Billy quotes, and he would not say Billy, and then when he thought it was gonna be Billy, and I gave him non-Billy quotes, he got so mad, but kept coming back for more.
He's a good
Thick-skinned.
sport.
He is a good sport, thick-skinned, and
He should have just said Billy every time.
Billy every time he would have gotten it.
Yep.
Extra
Billy
cool.
Award goes to Dante.
This one, I think you're gonna like. It's called the Participation Trophy of Shame,
Oh boy.
and it goes to Shayla because she hasn't been on many podcasts, but still managed to end up with minus 19 points.
Oh,
Don't
good.
know how that happened,
Jesus.
but I like it. And Diz, I haven't mentioned you yet. Your
You're not
trophy is
safe.
called Barely Legal
Of course it is.
because you ended the game with minus 18 points.
Oh wow.
Oh.
And I thought that was perfect because we always say that Diz is 18. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Awesome.
And just to let you know that Shayla had minus 19, Diz had minus 18, and neither of these two lost. So just to let you know how crazy the points were.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And I got all of you. Yeah. So there's one more trophy I gave to myself. It's called Shh, the Grown-Ups Are Talking. Because I made up a stupid rule at the start to scare you guys that if anyone answered out of turn, I'd steal 10 of your points.
Yeah, you
and
never
someone
did that.
Yeah,
Oh.
someone did.
Was it me?
You.
Yeah.
Nailed
To
it.
be
Every freaking time.
to fucking test me, and I stole it.
Well, that's the thing.
So-
Like, you only took credit for it once, but I did it like every fucking episode.
Yeah. No.
You could still change it.
I
Nope.
took points away from myself.
Good.
The funniest thing, that's all the awards I had, but Dante actually had 0.5, so, like something 0.5. Because at some point, I think we gave him a half credit just for being, for being so patient. I was like, it's
good.
like a little something you give a little kid. I don't know.
Here's your lollipop,
Piece
Dante.
of candy.
But all the trophies have been achieved. All the trophies have been handed out. The platinum has been handed out, and that ends the SD Perry game.
Scoring system's a sham.
Yeah, I was gonna do
Yeah.
a raising flag thing, but I didn't have the energy to fucking tie a book up and try to find a way to pull it to the ceiling.
Yeah, that's
So I
way
was
too
like,
much
nah,
work.
I'll just throw it to the wall and be like, there you go.
Throw it in the
Throw
trash
it
where it belongs.
Yeah, and now we will pass it on to Alec.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned your little game.
My little game. You know how much
Yeah.
work
What a game.
there's fucking 5 books to go through.
Oh my god.
Because, so when we started the new podcast, it's like we come up with new ideas, kind of whatever. I came up with this trick or treat thing. So, I first joined Twitter and tweeted at David B. Hater.
Nice.
Okay, so I asked him a question. You guys can try to answer for me as well. Okay. So the question is: if Snake had to sing a song in his head during a mission, what would it be?
Snake Eater.
Mhm.
Hands
Man
down.
In a box. Man in a box.
Man, that box, I like it.
Down.
I never thought to apply that song to fucking Solid Snake. That's pretty good.
All we could think when we played Rock Band was fucking Snake.
Snake.
Any other answers?
It's a tough one to think about.
Yeah.
Especially because like I'm also trying to think of like all those random songs that he usually has on like the soundtrack that are like, you know, really epic over the top pop songs, like a Celine Dion style. So I feel like it would be something like that, but I just can't think of which
My
one.
heart will go on.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Just have the baby elephant march. Baby
Okay.
elephant march, always.
Is there an actual answer? Or are we just speculating?
No. Well, this is the thing. I tweeted David Hayter, so he's a voice actor for Solid Snake in the Metal Gear series. For those who don't know,
For that
living
one
under
guy
a
out
boulder.
I didn't know.
there. Living under a Chris.
Yeah.
In a box.
I work
His
under a
sack.
Chris.
Oh, I live under that boy.
Oh no!
Jesus
Get in line,
Christ.
bitch.
Oh!
Evil. Anyway,
They're gonna
so
box.
David didn't get back to me. However, I did tweet another person.
What?
I
Hideo
tweeted.
Kojima?
I tweeted.
What the fuck is with Death Stranding going?
I tweeted this comment to Hiya. Me and my friends had fun reading your Resident Evil. However, we did wonder if you were a fan of Resident Evil prior to writing these Resident Evil novels. Who do you think I tweeted?
S.D. Perry?
Yep.
Nice.
Did
How
she
did
get
she
back?
She did actually tweet me back.
What?
Oh, nice.
She said, "Get fucked." Who is it?
She said, I heard your shitty podcast. Fuck you.
You're all shitting all over me.
Okay, so SD Perry retweeted saying, I was a fan. I was still fighting the big snake in the attic when I got the first contracts.
His name
The
is
second
Ron
game?
somehow.
The second game hadn't come out yet. Glad you liked them. Smiley face.
Oh,
And now
nice.
she's following me on Twitter.
Oh
Aww.
God.
Oh, that's
You know what?
awesome.
This is dangerous.
That's pretty cool.
It's like,
That's
this
pretty
guy
cool,
liked
but
my
also
book.
like, yeah, we can't talk bad about her anymore.
We love
You know,
Your books
I
are
like
the
books.
best.
I'm
Our
just saying,
favorite.
I like the books. I'm just saying they're off the. They're like they don't follow the game. Then that was the whole point of the game. But you know what? I gave her a fucking trophy today, so we can say what we want.
I know, right?
And to be
Yeah,
fair, I
hopefully
haven't read any of those shits. I just the quotes
They are
and yeah, just some of the writing is just wah.
I want to know what was going through her head when she was writing the part where Wesker is like threatening to fucking rape Claire. or
Well,
something.
yeah, like things like that. I just don't
Like-
understand.
Oh, no.
I know he's trying
Where
to
was
piss
your
off Chris,
headspace?
but, like, why the hard-on comment?
Right?
That's not Wesker. That's not his.
There's just a lot of
Yeah,
things
that's pretty
that
weird.
that go outside the characters, like things that you just can't really imagine them saying or feeling, and it's
Claire,
just like
I only
what?
have 7 minutes. Fucking get here.
No, oh no!
7 dicks is all the dicks I have.
7 inches is
Claire.
My dick will be released into the.
All 7 of them.
Hey, you know, he's shouting the entire time when he's doing her. He's saying, correct!
Oh no.
I'm crying.
Who allowed this? Who allowed this?
What
to
have we
happen?
become?
I don't know, but now I hope SD Perry's listening.
Yeah, so we have become SD Perry.
She's like, I'm gonna write a fucking fanfiction.
If you're
listening,
She's like, I'm gonna write this down.
you're never gonna be able to hear that again.
Ah, dear.
What else you got, Alec?
Right, okay. The game is called What Are You Buying? So, Austin, if you want to do the merchant voice for me here.
What are you buying?
Thank you.
What?
It's merchant.
Merchant Cena? Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to go for like Price is Right kind of theme.
Oh, wow.
Well, you
It's not a bad
I
idea.
think you missed the mark there, friendo.
Yeah, whatever, it's fine.
Right. Okay, so since it's a new game, I'll try to explain the rules quickly. So, the aim of the game is to find out what the game I bought is called and how much it cost me. And to
All
win,
right.
the contestants must have the highest amount of points at the end of the game. So everyone starts with 5 spendable points.
noise.
Right, stage 1, a hangman style. Everyone can choose to spend 1 point to guess a letter of the title of the game. For example, if the game was called The Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe, appeals too, it would start with The Chronicles of blank, 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 The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. It would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you're gonna give
So-
us like a sort of hint at the start, and then we have to guess from there.
So if a player says the letter A, then it would appear to be The Chronicles of blank A, blank, 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 blank A,
Chronicles.
Lion, Witch, Wardrobe. Okay, so we got stage 1. Okay,
Got it.
Got it.
players can also buy a clue, but it will cost them 2 points. Okay.
Okay.
So it's like Wheel of Fortune kind of deal.
Yeah,
I like it,
Fortune
I like
Price
it.
is Right.
and now I'll give you a clue as to what the game is, but I won't say what the game is. Right.
Price.
And then the second part of the game is that everyone has to guess how much I paid for the game. The
$4.
person. I don't have dollars, bitch.
We're guessing in dollars because
Damn it.
we're
Euros,
not
motherfucker.
British.
No, not even euros. Just we're leaving Europe.
Yeah, that's right. Pounds.
Yeah. Right. The person closest gets 2 points. The person closest to the actual price I paid for it gets 2 points. However, if they get the spot on the amount I paid for it, they get 5 points.
Ooh.
If someone
And
gets
a
the name of the
brand
game,
new car.
Oh,
Nah, 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 nah.
if someone gets the name of the game correct, they will also get 5 points. If they get the name of the game wrong, they lose 1 point. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
basically. Okay. So,
Shaun goes first.
Ah!
right. The first.
Oh, actually, just one question before we start. So,
Yeah.
is there only one game that you bought in this entire thing, or is there going to be multiple games?
No, it's just one. I mean, this
Okay,
is the
gotcha.
thing. You know, if we get this ball rolling, you guys, when you buy a new game, you can play this game on me.
Oh.
I also have a question. Did you actually buy the game?
Yes.
Okay.
I have it. I have it physically in front of me.
Good,
My mom bought it
good.
for me.
None of that digital
I just gotta
bullshit.
look into his window.
So, was that, and you gave us a hint, right? That's what you just did?
Well, possibly.
Could
It might be digital. It might be just a front cover.
No, not
Who
that.
knows?
What'd you said before?
What's that?
I don't know.
What?
I had a
Just-
question. That's all that was on my brain.
Okay. Okay. So it is. You might want to go have a pen and paper for this one. So there is.
Yeah, pen and paper making a comeback, bitches.
God damn it! I don't own either of those things.
Do you have a computer?
No.
You obviously
Okay,
don't
I'll
own
write
a
it
pair
down
of
for you.
scissors either.
Get
God's sake.
I have one of
Digital
those right next to me
notepads, bitch.
too.
Okay, you just have to listen then, Sean. Right. Blank, 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 blank.
Whoa.
How many
Triple
blanks?
Hit pack. So 6 blanks.
Okay.
Okay, so blank, 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 blank. I'm timing blanks. Triple hit pack. Okay. So, Sean, would you like to spend a point to guess a letter? You don't have to.
Want him to.
I feel like I know what the fuck that is.
Triple hit?
Triple hit.
Well, then guess, you bitch.
Damn.
Yeah, this could be game over quite quickly.
Possible.
Is it Hitman?
Sean, you get 5 points.
Woo!
Damn. Okay.
Oh, I thought
Got it.
all the blanks were words.
No.
Other letters.
Damn it.
I thought they were
Okay,
words
but
too.
the game's not over. You guys still have to guess how much I paid for the game. And I got it 2 weeks ago.
$25.
$26.
Wait.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
are we able to ask
Yeah,
other
okay, let's do it in
questions about
order.
the game?
So, Austin, how much do you think I paid for the Hitman triple pack?
Before I take a guess, am I able to ask questions about the game before I guess the amount? Or do I just guess the amount?
You can guess. Yeah, you can ask a question, I suppose. Yeah, why not?
So, like, when it comes to like the Hitman game that this is, like, was it like one of the newer ones, or is it like a collection of the older ones?
I think that will give it away. So,
That'll
Fair enough.
cost you.
So you don't have to answer that. All right. In that case, I will guess. Do you 40 pounds?
£40. Bearing in mind that I got it 2 weeks ago. Okay. Diz, how much do you think I paid
I
for
was
it?
gonna say a loaf of bread and a duck, but you traded for it.
That sounds legit.
I sold him my brother.
I want to say.
And my mother, father.
I want to say like 30 pounds.
Okay. Jazz.
So I want to say $32, but I don't know what that is in pounds. It's like 20 something. Can I use a conversion thing?
If you want.
I
That's
had
a
Google
fucking
up, I
game
just-
changer. That's a fucking
Shit.
game changer.
You
20,
can
I
change-
told you I don't know pounds. I don't even know how to convert to US. 24.50.
£24.50.
You probably
Okay.
paid like $2 for it. Oh,
Okay, Sean,
Can I ask a question?
if you want.
No.
Is it 23
I might not
pounds?
answer
Great question.
You lose 2 points.
Fuck!
Oh.
So, Sean, how much do you think I spent on it?
What is $25? Be like 21 pounds, 20 pounds, something.
$25? Hang on.
Yeah, it looks like 16 pounds.
Oh wow, I was way off.
What's that in kilograms? $25 is.
Is it 20 fight money from Street Fighter 5?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's actually important money.
Oh, I wanna
You're right.
change my answer.
Alright.
Mhm.
Jazz, okay,
Too
go on.
late.
I will spend points if I have to. It's like I
Yeah,
don't want to be
it's fine.
unfair about it.
Yeah, I'll take a point
I
off
want
you.
to change it to free. I want to say somebody fucking gave it to you and you're trolling.
Oh.
So you're saying £3?
No, free. Okay,
Oh,
shit.
so yeah, what's
Zero.
up? So,
Zero.
okay,
Sorry. Zero.
Sean,
Hello.
how much do you reckon I paid for it?
Whatever $25 was, the 16 pounds.
16 pounds.
$14.60.
$14.60. Diz, Austin, do you want to change your answers at all?
I think I will keep mine.
Okay. Diz,
Yes.
Wait.
you happy with $30?
Yes. Yes. Sorry. I leaned away again.
Stop it.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to alter Sean's thing, but it's 19 pounds. My thing automatically converted Canadian.
I was right, bitches. Well, close.
Yeah, we-
I was close.
Listen,
We're in
Google knows
England,
where I
not
live.
Canada.
No,
So-
no, you guys, it's converting to.
So Sean, you got £9, right?
Huh?
You got £9. Is that what it's converted to?
No,
No.
what did you say? $25?
Yeah.
25 US converts to 19 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 19 pounds.
Because my phone corrected.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fuck Canada.
It doesn't matter. He's wrong.
Wow.
None of you got it spot on.
Wow.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, we
However-
weren't expecting to.
However, Jazz,
Yeah.
you're the one that's closest.
Nice.
You paid
So
$3.
you get. No, I paid £6 for the game
Oh wow, nice.
2
So
weeks ago.
I assume it was like the friggin' old school Hitman then, right?
It's so it's basically all the Hitman games that was released on PS2, and just put in one single case, pretty much, but 3
Yeah,
discs.
That's what I figured. Because like I was thinking on the lines if they were like the newer Hitman games, but like putting them in like
That's
like-
that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of they released a triple pack with when they released Absolution. It had Blood Money and one of the other ones. I don't remember what it was, and Absolution in a 3-pack. I thought that's what you were talking
Silent
about.
Assassin.
Yeah.
Contracts, Blood Money.
So I was way up.
I bet you if I bet you if it was that collection that I thought it was, I'd be pretty close.
That's what you get for not having scissors.
Wow.
That was
How would scissors help me in this situation other than to
I-
It
stab
wasn't
kids?
for here, you dumbass.
No.
Listen, you could stab somebody and steal their.
Gonna stab Alec.
Exactly.
Take his game now. He's got nothing.
Exactly. Nah, it has no value.
You could try to stab me, but you still use a bloody blunt object.
Whoa.
Got him.
Got him.
Have you
And
caught
with
on to
that-
what I'm saying yet?
Wow. Yeah.
Take that as a no.
With the digression, we're
Talking
gonna
about
go ahead and
the-
go on to
evil.
Talking about a peepee.
Okay, well that was what are you buying?
the- you-
Good game, everybody.
I got a game.
Yay! No,
John got a
fuck
game?
you.
I'll
Wow.
buy it at a high
I
price.
told you I would kill you.
Well, kill me then.
Sean, does it require scissors?
It might.
Because
Okay,
I've got
well,
2 pairs. If I can,
I got
I can
one
lend you one.
Hey, hey, cut it out.
This is a little game I like to call Questions About Resident Evil 1.
I love the title.
The energy in that. Oh,
I love the
beautiful.
title. I swear, if it's about Resident Evil 2,
Like he has questions about every game except the
Yeah.
first one.
It's actually about Silent Hill.
oh god.
So, I'm going to give you information regarding Resident Evil 1, and you're going to tell me if it is correct or incorrect.
Okay,
Well, I'm gonna lose.
Who wants to go first?
Me, not me.
I'll go
Wow.
first.
I don't want.
All right, Austin.
I'm an enthusiastic participant.
Yay. Finally, somebody is going.
God, what a bitch.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Originally, Resident Evil did not have zombies or BOWs as the primary threat. What kind of enemy was originally considered for Resident Evil? Was it ghosts? Was it people? Was it plant monsters? Was it demons? This is
I'm-
a multiple choice question.
Yeah, obviously not.
I just realized.
The funny part is that, like, I think with the way the game was being developed, it very well could have ended up being a multiple choice in that sense, where it's just like, oh, let's put all of them in, but then, like, they weren't able to. But as far as this question, I'm going to say ghosts.
You're correct.
Yes.
Yay!
It was going to be a spoopy game.
Ghosts.
Yeah, I was thinking either ghosts or demons, but I was pretty sure it was ghosts.
Well, not too long after that time period, like a lot of like survival horror kind of games were like plant-based monsters, which was weird. So I don't know.
Lost Diz again.
This is dying.
You know what has a weird amount of plant monsters? Fucking Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. They need
Really?
to fuck off because they're annoying. Like they're usually the type of monsters that will like you know, especially in the Resident Evil 2 remake, they have like those moves where they'll like swallow you up and like insta kill you. Like in Dungeons and Dragons, they have that shit too, and it's freaking frustrating.
Oh no. Makes me think
Yeah,
of Resident
yeah.
Evil 2 remake. Ugh.
Exactly.
Fucking hate
yeah.
those goddamn things.
Anyway,
Okay.
we got a quiz show to run here.
Who's next?
Diz.
Wow.
I think her answer will be ha ha ha.
That is correct.
I'm in.
Okay, Diz.
I'm gonna get it wrong, but all right.
You can do it. Better do it.
Are
Want to
you
know
re-
why I'm gonna get it wrong?
Why?
Because I haven't played the first one.
You've ne-
I have it, but I haven't played it.
You haven't done the homework.
No, I haven't. Shh, Sean, don't cry. I'll play it tonight.
God damn it, you better. Okay, are you ready to
beat
Do it.
Resident Evil 4
Are you-
till last year, so why are you surprised?
Wow, that's yeah,
He's right.
you make a good
He's right.
argument. Okay, Diz, are you ready?
Sure.
What? Sure. Here, how about this? I'll give you an easy one.
Wow.
The US version of Resident Evil is more difficult than the Japanese version. True or false?
I want to say false.
Nope.
Damn it.
It is correctamundo. They made the US version more difficult to increase the amount of rentals that the game would get through retailers like Blockbuster and game rental stores.
Blockbuster.
Wow!
Wow,
I
we're
have a
dating
relic
ourselves.
from. I have a relic.
I
from
know, right?
Brockbuster.
Blockbuster. Fucking rental stores in general don't even exist. Like there used to be like Hollywood Video, like even Redbox is dying.
We have one here called Family Video, and there's actually quite a bit of them still.
Yeah, I think those are the only ones, like the mom and pop kind of shops are the only ones that really exist. But most of those seem to just sell and maybe like they rent on the side, maybe.
A lot of it is the rent. At least the one I used to go to, they rent a lot of stuff, but once like a newer console or something comes out, they start selling the older stuff. So eventually they sell it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jess.
Ah.
Prepare to die.
I also have never played the game. Maybe you should get what?
What? Yeah. Liar.
Okay, raise your hand if you've ever played Resident Evil.
Can
You're all
see?
fired from the podcast.
I know.
God damn
I
it.
raised my hand though.
Like, don't we make like Resident Evil machinimas around here?
Yeah, but with like the
What's a
newer games.
machinima?
Actually, this one's
Oh,
good for you,
fuck.
Jazz. This one's perfect for you. You ready?
Good for you.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Wow.
Early on, Resident Evil's cast of characters included a huge hulking man with a cybernetic eye who was initially intended to stop the crushing ceiling before the shotgun room with his bare hands. True or false?
What? What?
Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah, I cut out a little bit.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
So
That's a lot
Like
to
what?
take in.
early on, Resident Evil's cast members included a huge hulking man with a cybernetic eye who was initially intended to stop the crushing ceiling before the shotgun room with his bare hands.
He had a cybernetic eye.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that a good question for me? What?
Because it's the sandwich room.
Sandwich.
I believe it is the wall room where Jill sandwich.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It's called the sandwich room officially.
Build it. It's 111 Diamond 5 actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
God.
I sounds stupid, so I'm gonna say yes.
Just because it sounds stupid doesn't the stupid sounding one mean like I've made it up?
Off the top that
Well-
like yes.
Like you couldn't make it up? Well, you are correctamundo.
There you go. So it sounds like some dumbass shit
Yeah,
that
they-
they would have put in there
they-
and went, why are we doing this? Let's
Well, yeah, they had concept art of that asshole.
Yep.
Oh my
At
god.
first I thought you were talking about Chris. and
He
I
was a
like,
dipshit. He got
But he said-
replaced by Barry.
He said he had a bionic sonic, whatever you fucking said.
The cybernetic
Pretty much
eye.
He was
Yeah,
pretty
and
much the Terminator.
You
Pretty
cut out,
much.
and then all I could think was dick.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
then he had like could stop the ceiling room and I'm like, Jesus Christ, who was this guy?
Stops
Yeah,
the
they
city
had-
with his dick.
How'd they find this guy for stars?
Wow. Okay, Alec.
Get
Yellow.
fucked.
The chimera. Wow. The question is, fuck you.
Well, that's a really good question.
Wow. True.
I wouldn't fuck you. You got crabs.
Wow. It's Lee's fault.
It's all in the family.
God damn it. Anyways, Alec, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. The chimera monster was created by skinning a chimpanzee, applying the T virus directly to the skin tissue, and feeding it human flesh. True or false?
False.
Look at you. You are
It
correct.
came out of someone's.
What?
And how were they made?
I mean, it came from the upside down.
What?
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. One more set of questions. Diz,
Ah.
are you ready?
No, but let's go.
What? Wow. Wow. The garden house in the courtyard was originally a kennel used to breed the Cerberus as a defense system for the Spencer estate. True or false?
I'ma say true.
Nope. That is incorrect. Jess.
I think it's Austin's turn.
Wow. I picked the goddamn order.
Yeah,
I'm
There's
mixing
no
it up.
pass
I'm
option.
mixing it up this time.
Didn't
Fuck
read
you.
the rules. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
Craphead.
What?
Oh.
Okay. Are you ready?
No, go ahead.
Well, go ahead. In one of the first design concepts, Barry Burton was one of the two main protagonists. True or false?
True. Well, it was with this fucking cybernetic eye.
Wow. That is false. You are wrong. Brr. Alec,
Yellow.
are you ready?
Yep.
Your enthusiasm is overwhelming. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Before the design of Brad Vickers, the Alpha Team pilot, the player found a helicopter on the roof of the Spencer estate and flew themselves to safety at the end of the game. True or false?
I don't know that one, so I'm gonna go with false.
Look at you. That is correct.
Look at this big boy right
He's
here.
wearing his big boy pants.
Also, hang on, I'll pull my zip up.
Wow.
Oh
Oh,
no.
look at the pee-pee on this boy.
Jesus.
Remember, write this down for the next episode.
Damn it. Austin, you're up. Are you ready?
No.
Whoa. Here we go. Last question for you, Austin. In the Sega Saturn version of Resident Evil, Wesker can be found as a zombie wandering the halls at one point in the game. True or false?
I'm gonna say false.
Nope, that is true.
God damn it. Where the fuck is he?
He's actually in the battle mode that was only in the Saturn version.
Oh.
Yeah, he
Tricky
appears as a
dicky.
zombo wandering around.
What a loser.
Yeah,
Because they're
what a
lazy.
dipshit.
Didn't want to. I know there's zombies for it. Just use Wesker.
Well, that was before they knew that they were going to turn Wesker into a fucking Chris-hating psychopath.
Into a volcano.
Into a volcano. You're right.
Or they just use the model for when the tyrant just freaking guts him.
Oh.
Okay, that's the end of the game. Good job, everybody.
Yay. We all lose.
Woo!
It's all on fire.
There's no winners or losers, only
Yay.
happiness.
Only death.
Only losers.
Only losers.
All losers.
Hello,
If Dante was
everybody.
playing, Billy would just come out as the
Wow.
answer.
Oops, all losers.
Welcome to the Fairy Flower Cast.
Oh no.
Popcorn pieces and love.
We're renaming the podcast. The Fairy Flower Cast.
Hey,
like it.
everybody.
Everybody's
Hello.
happy here
Time
because
for
they have
some-
plagued.
Time for
Time
some
for
little update.
I thought you said news. Do we have updates?
Do
I
we?
thought we were going to get rid of updates for like once a month.
No, we had the what you gonna do? New projects or something? Like it was updates, but it was if anybody's working on anything new.
Yeah, so updates are going to
And if we
be
don't,
when we have something worthwhile, like something monumental to update about.
so nobody.
Because I
has-
have jack
So,
shit.
so if you're just working on what you were working on last week, then there's no need to really talk about it. Kind of a situation.
Mhm.
Does anybody have any updates?
Well, actually, I did just think of something because
Oh, good.
as I've mentioned to y'all before, I do work for Facebook. Fun. So there actually was an article released recently on some of the work I was doing. So
Ooh.
that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Actually talking publicly about some of the stuff I've been doing, which are you guys familiar with the idea of like deepfake videos?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially we would have to do stuff about that, and like an article came out that was like kind of talking about the work we've been doing with it and stuff.
Like, what are you doing with it?
Well, it's like, so we're mostly trying to like differentiate between people that are just kind of like fucking around with it, but then people like actually like using it for like, manipulating political stuff, where it's just like, trying to like change people's speeches and whatnot.
Yeah, that's kind of a scary thing. Like, the only thing they need to do
Absolutely.
now is figure out how to, like, get the voices down, how to mimic a voice, and then there's some dangerous shit that's going to come from that.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't go into too much more specifics beyond that, but essentially, like, I've been working with a lot of that kind of stuff, especially like when I went on some of my big business trips, like they were dealing with that too. So fun stuff.
Oh, boy, technology. The
No,
robots.
that's where I get. That's where I'm getting my sellout money from.
From the books of the face.
Yeah, pouring myself out to Zuck.
Books from the face.
Anybody else got updates?
Not for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kinda.
What? So no?
Kinda? Well, because I
What you
said
got?
something about it. I said something about it last week, but I actually have like video editor open and doing stuff. So,
Ooh.
Ooh.
What
For
you
Until
doing?
Darn.
What you doing?
yeah, until darn. The cast is finished. I literally just finished it by casting myself as 2 characters instead of 1.
Sometimes you gotta.
And then, yeah, I just did some capturing like literally right before we got into this.
Ooh.
And I have it all in the video editor and do some shit
Oh shit.
after this podcast.
One step closer to the edge.
And
Yeah,
I'm about to...
And I'm about to break.
I'm about to break a cake.
And I'm about to come.
What?
Wow.
All right, next time.
Jazz. How about you? What, you got any little old updates?
Just gonna be doing some little voice recordings for Until Darn.
Yeah.
How fitting. I guess I will be too, huh?
Yeah, you
Oh
will.
darn!
Wow.
You've got other stuff to do.
Yeah, you have like
Actually-
2. He has like 2 lines.
Wow.
Something
I
haven't
see. I
been
see what's
doing
going on.
And I didn't really talk about last time is episode 3. It's getting close there. Getting closer.
Close there over
Every
there.
time you mentioned me about it. And then I've been adding lines again. That's gonna be coming up hopefully in the next few months. I say few, I mean 10.
No.
Oh.
God.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I've got a little old update myself.
Wow.
I recorded all the lines for episode 2 for you, Jazz.
3.
Or yeah, 3. God damn it! My numbers.
13.
My numbers.
Oops, you're fired.
God dang it! There's too many numbers going on.
I swear to God, if you had sent me lines for episode 2, after all of this time, I would have just blown up the project.
Oh, no.
I
No,
would
it's
have been
because
Parker myself.
I need to work on episode 2 of Dork and episode 3 of Revelations, and I'm like, numbers. What are those? Who knows?
What
They
are
I
don't
recorded my
matter.
lines for episode 69.
Yo, what?
Got him.
Got him.
Got him.
But yeah, so I recorded all those. They're done. I'm most of the way done through editing them. I'm gonna finish that after we record here, probably, or later tonight. And I will send those to you. But you'll have them by the end of the day for sure.
Oh.
So next few months is probably going to turn into a week.
Few days.
No, I mean for me to finish the episode,
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's what I mean. Hurry up.
not few days.
Aw.
Wow.
Few days.
It might be done before the podcast is released.
Yeah, wow. You shit. The last two podcasts went
Evil.
up on time, you fuck. I worked
Yeah, but this
real
is going
hard.
about 3 hours.
Oh no.
You do make a good point. Those are tough, but I'm gonna get it done. 2020 is the year of getting shit done, everybody.
It's the fucking year.
Hell
It
yeah.
is the fucking year. For
It'll be done right after Half-Life 3 comes out.
You shit, you're supposed to support me.
We're all gonna get together and watch that, and then we're gonna go and fucking watch the Uncharted movie. That's how close it is.
Yep,
to getting
yep.
done.
Oh, absolutely.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Podcast over.
Love you, Don.
This has been episode. And after that note, this has been episode 68.
Yay!
Oh, it's not 69? Fuck.
No,
Damn.
so close.
I might have 69, Austin, you know.
You
Wow.
better invite me to episode 69 or I'm gonna be mad.
Thanks for
You'll
joining
be
us
here.
as always. Yeah, we'll be here. You'll be here. We'll be here. We're always glad to have you here. We're not always this threatening.
It's the
And
best.
as always, we welcome any suggestions, questions, feedbacks, and a little hello. You can always contact Sean or the Ward, or everybody, but mostly Sean, using the comment section of the video, Twitter at the Ward. Am I saying this? At the Ward Pro.
Yeah,
Just Pro.
good job. Yep.
Thank you.
I really didn't like that asshole brown guy.
Tweet it at me.
Get
Or you
him
can,
off the podcast.
I don't like his last name.
Why is that British guy
Wow.
so evil?
It makes me think of
His last
comment
name
section's
makes
gonna
me
be fun.
uncomfortable.
if you get a comment that says I don't like that brown guy. That's horrible.
Oh,
I hope I see
no.
a comment like that because I'll give it a heart.
We love everybody here. You
Come
can
on,
also
people.
contact the Word.
It's like, oh, yeah, well, the brown guy loves you.
You can go to the website, the-ward.com, and go to the contact us page, or just yell really loud and hope to Sean.
Yeah, I'm listening.
He's a
Hey,
giraffe.
Sean. Hey.
What?
Hey, fuck you.
Wow.
Oh.
Should put your
Oh,
fuck
that
yous
kind
in
of
my
podcast,
DM. Wait.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Bye bye.
huh?
Toodles.
Be real.